doing it. We're doing
Hurry
it.
up, dude.
Hello.
Is it happening?
It's happening right now.
Is it happening?
In front of your very eyes.
You would not believe.
You would not believe your
Whose subiversary is that?
It's 10 million ass. What? Subiversary?
Oh, that's why. There
Huh?
we go.
It's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
subiversary?
It is, yeah.
Happy subiversary.
I'm cheering, dude.
Woohoo! Woohoo! This is so epic.
Wait, I have no bits. Never mind. I'm poor.
Oh, that's rough. That's
no,
rough.
no,
You can't cheer through sub. Oh my god!
No bits.
Also,
Who the fuck is that? Who is that? Oh my god! That's crazy. I can't. Thank you, Shane Vespender VA.
Don't you ever talk about me like that ever again.
Dude,
for
you have no idea,
subscribing.
man. My friends call me LannyVA all the time.
Thanks,
I really
LannyVA.
hate it. No, dude, I'm serious, bro. We'll be doing whatever, playing a game or something like that. Thank you, LannyVA, my friend. I'm like, I don't like
My
it,
friend.
dude.
Okay, well, we're back. People died. And now Jessica's going like, and yeah, the people are like, holy fuck, what's going on?
Yeah, they're running back to the house to see who else is around, and to
Yeah.
also, I think, confront Birdford.
Well,
Bartatas.
No, they were kind of saying the opposite because Battler was like, "Oh, fucking Beatrice Hella did it," and then they were like, "Well, we don't know that for sure. We have to be fair."
Also, you didn't see it before, but there's new
death descriptions.
yeah, there's new death descriptions.
I would hope so.
Since it's different this time around.
Since it's different this time around, yes.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Stomachs are packed full of candy. Everyone has a stomach full of sweet dreams. Why would there be anything filthy inside someone's stomach?
Yummy candy.
Yummy, yummy candy. So true. Okay.
There, we still don't know who the culprit is.
No,
Oh
shit.
god, I forgot you changed him to
Yeah,
Gabagool.
because he's Italian.
He's
It
fucking Italian.
makes sense to me, I think. And Beatrice Sama's important and honoured guest to the masters.
So what? If we grab her by the collar, she'll definitely confess. If I can just look her in the eye, I'll know.
He's so
I'll
dramatic.
see through her. A witch? Beatrice? Yeah, right.
She's not a believer.
I'll expose her.
She's not a believer.
She's not a believer.
Jessica never stopped moving. Hold on, I have to readjust my microphone. I realize I don't like that position.
Adjust it.
There we go. Coda and Cannon chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent an ear.
How sad.
Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there. And yet, the servants were always made to clean this room, so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room, after their second, shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too. And she couldn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale.
Oh,
Oh, I think it's her.
The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? Okay.
Dear God, choose a
Okay.
fucking point of view. To Jessica, she was nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her culprit sputter in pain, gasp in anguish. No matter how hard she pretends
just to be a witch,
fuck.
I'll teach you that she's just a
Why?
stinky, sweaty human. Love the
As Jessica yelled with all of her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. The sound that sound was the beating of her anger's hammer,
Oh.
Oh my god.
as she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't opened. I don't like this music for this. It does not fit.
What do you mean? This is
Open up,
dramatic. It's all
Beatrice.
melancholic.
Come out! You hear me, right? Open up!
There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock.
Guys, close the room.
Holy shit.
You closed your room,
Oh my God,
guys.
it's
Holy
closed
shit.
room. Holy fuck.
She turned around to look at the two servants and spoke.
The master key will unlock this, right? Use it!
Milady, that will be horribly rude.
Look at Cannon, bro. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, whatever. I do what I want.
Because I don't fucking know. Although Gerda was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger.
Let's go!
Yeah, I knew he was
Let's
about
go,
to open it.
Cannon.
I knew he was about to open it, dude.
Cannon's like, fuck you, bro. After hanging his head silently for a while, Cannon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket. Cannon-san, are you sure?
Yes, I'm fully aware it would be rude if she happens to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident, all she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation.
That's right, exactly! Let me borrow that.
Jessica snatched the master key from Cannon's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole.
I was gonna open that.
No preparation or lubrication of any sort.
Nope,
Immediately,
jam it in the
there
keyhole.
was a small sound, and she felt the lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open.
Oh my god. Is it gonna be empty?
Beatrice! Where are you? Come out!
Jessica rudely stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to
Oh
be
my
seen.
god, guys. Where'd she go?
Bitch! She's not here! Where the hell'd she go?
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be here.
Uh-oh.
Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked behind curtains and under the bed. She couldn't find anyone. However, there were definitely signs that the bed had been used. Though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room, but she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Gerda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in the portrait. So, they were doubtful about what her face really looked like.
Doubters. Hashtag doubter.
However, Cannon alone had met her. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that forcing their way in here in search for her definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching it.
Oh, I guess that's him.
She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person.
Because he was looking at things that way, Cannon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen, which had probably been used to write it. Cannon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they'd been overcome by rage and barged in here, only to find no one. So of course, the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So in other words, that's what this must be.
Milady, there's something written here.
Hi, Bedwards. Welcome.
Hello,
Only
hello,
Monday.
You're...
Only for today. Something written? What?
Jessica dashed over and violently snatched the piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to be violent, she just couldn't control her strength right now.
What the? Don't fuck with me!
As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage and crumpled the paper and threw it.
Oh my god, oh my god.
It's a piece of A4 paper, man. God, fuck Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's tweaking.
Then she grabbed a light stand by the bedside and
what it was.
violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the
super
walls
tweaking.
and furniture with it. The light bulbs all shattered at once and the fragments were scattered across the room.
Damn, girl.
Guys, this is
Yeah, but
girlhood.
lady, please calm down. You'll hurt yourself.
This is so girlhood.
Let go! Damn it! Damn it! Come out, Beatrice! How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I'll beat you to death, so show yourself!
Baby
I
Sure
told you
Mia
let go of me
family's very
today!
violent.
What?
Baby Sure Mia family is very violent.
Yeah, they are. Got a lot of fighter's blood.
Perhaps they were raised by a patriarch who didn't give a shit about any of it.
True. Tell him.
I wonder if that had anything to
Tell
do.
him like it is.
Nah, man.
yeah.
Hashtag I stand with Kinza. They're all vultures.
Hashtag I stand with Kinzo.
Me too. I want my witch wife. Fuck this
Yeah,
family.
dude, if I was in his position, bro, I feel the same way. If my kids are fucking wasting all my money and being all full of themselves,
I want my hot witch wife.
for real. I'd be up in that room like, Beatrice, please come back.
You took
Except
the kids.
your one grandson's pretty cool though.
Only one.
He's kind of okay. This was written on the paper.
Do you think I'd be that senile to just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too inelegant for this intellectual night. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like.
Normally, I don't think she's very funny, but that one was good.
All right, I saw them, and they look just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets.
Oh fuck.
Damn.
It was the sort of thing that the witch would write. It means she predicted that one of the children who'd lost their parents would come running in here. If she's hiding somewhere in this room, she must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years.
How sad.
Hand it over. I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself. Stop, goddamn
Told you,
teenage
let go!
girls!
Jesus Christ! Damn it! Oh.
Oh, goodbye.
You fucking took that.
Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. Only this is actually we're getting some character depth from Goda. He's actually trying to be like.
Yeah, he's actually like, dude. Maybe because he's alive this time. Maybe he'll become nice.
Well,
He'll become a person
he'll
and
become
not
a
just
person.
Mr. Chef Man. Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, she kept swinging it around. She might end up smashing it against something, which could cause serious injury. Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with the flames of anger. But Cannon's eyes saw it differently.
She's so hot right now.
Those are probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. It's almost as if there are stages to grieving or something like that.
True.
When the light stand was taken from Jessica, when she started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet, almost as though she was groveling. Goda was surprised, but Cannon was not. Of course, she had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage.
Ooh,
No.
wah! Dad, Mom, wow!
My life be like, ooh. Considering that she was the daughter of the Shinomiya head family, she was in a very shabby state.
Appearances, am I right, fellas? Gotta keep up appearances.
So real.
She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet were scratching.
What?
That was a very
Her feet.
unnecessary detail.
Her feet.
Jessica cried very, very hard. Because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message.
That's quoting the message.
Okay, I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like.
Don't you call them morons! Both Mom and Dad were smart! Unlike me, they were really smart! Don't you call them morons! Take it back! Take it back! It's still quoting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I saw them, and they looked just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets.
Ugh, damn it! I'll
Oh.
kill her! I'll kill her! I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it! Ah! Oh god. She has asthma. She has asthma.
As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath.
Beats the fuck out of Goda.
The hell? If you got time to do that, search for the bastard! Find him and bring him here! If you won't go, I will! And I'll kill him with my own hands! I'll slice open her stomach! Don't touch me! Damn it! Damn it! Oh god. You like that?
Jessica got up unsteadily as her asthma continued. She went out into the hallway. Milady, your medicine, quickly! I'll call Dr. Nanjo.
Goda-san, would you leave this to me?
Oh,
Mouth to mouth. Just choking.
Canon had noticed. Goda, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart. Canon, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her.
Ah, dude. He gets another chance.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ah, damn. Canon-san, are you sure?
I believe Milady needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that.
You're right. Goda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Canon had shared a vague relationship with each other. So he understood everything and left it to Canon. Very well, I'll go back to Rosa-sama. Please take care of Milady.
Why did he turn it to fucking Christopher Walken? Very well. I will go back to
Very
Rosa-sama.
well, I will go back to Rosa-sama.
Fire.
Yes, leave it to me.
Canon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Goda nodded firmly as well. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possessed self-control. He had surely seen that in Canon's eyes, so he would leave this to Canon.
Wow.
Oh. Fire.
When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Goda had ever trusted Canon and relied on him for a job.
Fire.
Thank you, narrator. I wouldn't have thought about that without you.
You're welcome. Jessica, still suffering from her asthma, seemed to be headed towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall, almost as if she couldn't breathe for some reason. Canon followed her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance, where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in the place Canon stood now. As he watched over Jessica from behind. Then finally, she doubled over in front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all of her strength. and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it off right then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica had probably lost the willpower to even call for help, but Cannon heard it. He definitely heard it. Cannon definitely heard that voiceless call for help, one shared by miserable grievers the world round. An endless scream that came to no one ever seems to hear. Cannon quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it. Unlocked the door to her room and entered.
This way. I'll prepare your medicine right away.
Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she'd vomit up her whole stomach. Her face was pale, and her gaze wavered. And yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Cannon took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to happen, Cannon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself as though wondering how he could call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Cannon's heart. But he felt it would be indiscreet to think about how something like that, considering how Jessica felt now. He locked it up inside the depths of his heart. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But she'd lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed.
Guys, do you think they might be? Do you think?
I don't know.
We gotta see.
Are you all right, milady?
I'm all right. I'm all messed up over mom and dad. But after I cry a bit more, I'll be all right.
Cannon regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you all right?" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him furniture. This was why he couldn't become human.
I will be in the corridor. If you need anything, please call me immediately.
Cannon understood that she still needed some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room.
Do you need something?
Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted him to stop, so Cannon had stopped.
If she asks it, I'll do anything I can to help her. Right now, I'd become even a cane or a chair if it would help ease the pain in her heart. If by doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on that day.
For a while, Jessica stared into Cannon's eyes. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something else she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice.
I'm sorry. It's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rosa that I want to be alone for a while?
I won't let you be alone.
Oh,
Huh?
I won't let you be alone. So, I will be in the corridor. Please call for me at any time.
for just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had flitted into Jessica's eyes. But it was very faint and disappeared, like the first snow on the surface of a river.
Thanks. Let me cry alone for just a bit.
Yes. Excuse me.
Cannon bowed once again and closed the door.
Fire.
Wow.
He'd thought those words of his would give her some courage. But now, it felt as though they'd actually hurt her for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp human sadness even now.
Womp womp.
As Cannon repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was coolly calling to him.
In the end, am I nothing more than furniture after all?
Is that him or narrator? What do we think?
I don't know.
I'm assuming there.
I think it's narrator still.
It was still pouring outside, a dark gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know that it was blue.
I wasn't!
Oh, dude, this
It
is so lame.
wasn't! We could go back if you want to.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't care. Sure, fuck it. You already
Okay.
did it.
Yeah.
It was still pouring outside. A dark, gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know that it was blue. But to my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. Until I can understand the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing but furniture, imitating a person.
You really don't understand a woman's heart, do you? At times like that, you ought to silently remain by her side. That's why you're furniture.
You!
There shouldn't. Oh, is that?
I think I don't know. Do we think it's still him? Dude, I feel like I have to ask every time.
Hold
We
on.
never know.
Okay.
Okay. You know, that's
Oh,
a
it
good
is-
strat. Just start clicking ahead a little
We
bit.
can always scroll back.
When you need to know.
Okay, so it is me.
Yeah, it's you.
There shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air.
I already did it.
Oh wait, yeah, you did. There you go. My bad.
You.
But those scoffing words approached Cannon from behind.
Hello.
When he turned around, he saw that witch.
Hi, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope, stop falling off. Stay.
Yeah. Get on there.
Stay.
Get on
Okay.
there. Yeah.
That witch who hadn't shown herself where Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica.
There are 3 ways to hurt a woman. Let me teach you them. One is to hurt them with a blade. Another is to hurt them in their heart. The last way is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting them, and yet it can hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean?
How could I know? I don't even want to know!
It's to betray their expectations. No living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. They make up dreams all on their own and end up hurting their own selves.
Is she
At
calling
this-
woman moment right now?
Yeah, she kinda is, but it's kinda true.
A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you wounded Jessica. After all, you're furniture.
I have no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me?
Don't be so full of yourself, furniture. You aren't even worth staring at.
Her cackles are so nerfed because I'm so icky.
You're not
Still,
icky too. You gotta lock in.
though you may not be worth my time on your own, if the two of you are gathered, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the fates of young couples never tires me.
What did you say? You don't mean... the lady is going to be...
I need two who are close for the sacrifices of the second twilight. The two of you truly are convenient.
Wait! Don't misunderstand. Milady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't become sacrifices for the second twilight.
That's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become human. Then there should be no problem. If you won't admit you have feelings for Jessica, I can accept that. But I will kill her.
Why?
You idiot! Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twist in pain. Why else? Following the rules of the ceremony, 13 people will be sacrificed on my whims. However, there's no rule that says I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I can kill any number of people. So I will. Make me laugh as hard as I can, Cannon the Furniture! Ah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is
Holy
this?
shit. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That's some chanting, bro.
At that time, Cannon definitely heard Jessica scream. When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who'd supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex. Without a trace of hesitation or distraction, there was the person he wanted to protect, and she was asking for help. And at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person by her side to be him.
Not again, dude. He's cooked.
When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced. Almost as though gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it.
Oh.
No, that's not it. I've seen this spectacle before. This isn't gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies. Beatrice's minions!
Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away.
Milady!
Cannon couldn't... help!
Cannon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed a cloud of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl in through her mouth and nose. Jessica choked violently, almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But when Cannon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair.
Cannon good!
It's okay. While there's still life in me, I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. Come out, Beatrice! Are you happy now?
As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler and seemed to be in pain, Cannon yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. Woobity woobity. Then, she showed herself. It wasn't in response to Cannon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation, and plus, it was more fun.
Now everything fits to the plot. Now you're cup on the chopping board. No, since we've got a pair of you, should I call it duck with green onions? You... Beatrice!
Please, stand back. I'll protect you, milady.
When the princess and knight come together, it's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinzo's furniture can muster?
She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up, and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold, wintry wind that builds up a mountain of leaves.
Whoa.
From that mound of gold, a hand sprouted, and it appeared, as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground.
What is this? What the hell is this?
Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was the bite of wisdom seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible.
Hi, Goat Man.
What
Oh.
the fuck?
Hi, Goat
Hello,
Man.
Satan.
No, it's just a Goat Man.
Oh. Oh, you're right. He doesn't have the thing on his head. I thought it was like Beelzebub for
Yeah,
a second.
no,
I was like,
no.
oh, we're going down this route.
No, it's just a Goat Man. Hey, yeah, Adam, he's for you. Have Goat Man.
Crazy. What the fuck, dude? Is he gonna get like beat to death by this thing? Oh my god.
If he has speaking lines, I call it.
This is tragic.
I was doing monsters.
Oh yeah.
That thing crawling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served. But its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And to symbolize its non-human status, it had two horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, and she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized. She hadn't realized that this island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things even she could understand. This goat attendant served the witch and was after her life. And apparently, the witch had already given it the order. She was looking at Cannon with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him how he intended to protect this maiden. Though the attendant hadn't looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch. And you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture wanting to meet its master's expectations.
Well then, why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinzo's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that your furniture got it. If you try to continue playing the human even now, This won't be settled by your death alone.
The goat attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at its master, or was it offered to Canon, its opponent? Then, on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's going to die.
What the hell is that?
Jessica had been unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life. And right now, that was enough. Canon spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back.
Milady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall.
What? It's only right for the maiden to immediately hide behind the great knight's back. I do hope you enjoy the pleasure of having your life protected by a man. Now, Canon, let's have a look at your blade.
Whip it out, Cannon. Whip that shit out. Whip that shit out. Whip that shit
What
out.
the fuck?
Okay, this is getting surprisingly real.
Beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kinza might even reach up as far as my feet.
What did he do to him?
Their furniture.
What did Kinzo do to him?
Furniture isn't a metaphor. Furniture isn't a metaphor.
Okay, bro. Well, it doesn't make more sense when you sing it. What are you talking about?
Furniture
Canon, I'm going to
isn't
do
a
a
metaphor.
series of experimental rituals
dude,
on
F
you.
you.
Remember when they
UMINEKO master withholding
Yeah.
information once again.
why would I tell you the information when the game will tell you?
Well, I don't fucking know. I thought we had already seen it and forgot.
No. You
No,
don't-
this has
Nah.
not been explained
The
yet.
reader
No.
does not know what the fuck is happening right now.
Well, I just mean specifically the furniture thing.
No, the
but-
furniture has not does things.
Well, I mean, I don't even fucking need to understand that to understand what's going on. Obviously, he did some shit to him with magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm just wondering what specifically he did.
Because I think it was implied that because he has such the close relationship with the orphanage, it kind of implied that he has
Yeah.
been doing things to orphans.
Yeah. And Sayo and Canon
Yeah, right?
aren't siblings, but they come
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
same orphanage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because since he can see Beatrice and everything very well, like, he's probably got, like, a good magic ability.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been Dr. Giroing with his magic
Yeah, big
a
time.
little bit.
Alright, I can fuck with it.
A thing like this can't even be used to trim the roses.
Canon-kun, what's...
I didn't want to show you.
So, you've taken it out. How does it feel to expose your subhumanity in front of the girl you care for? Oops.
Be silent.
So you'll act composed even though you're really burning with wrath. Yes, they do say that truly hot flames burn a cool blue. Is that how you are now?
Wait, are they
No way I can-
golems?
I mean, maybe.
Or golems?
Possibly. Well, because there's definitely other non-human races that exist, so he's got to be some type
Yeah.
of magic race.
There's no way I can kill you with my power. You are the moon. I could never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you've had to reflect your image off the surface of the water.
Fire.
If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time. But that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So, until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection!
Fire.
I like it, Canon! Begin, furniture!
Fight. Oh, why are you winking at me like that, Cannon? Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh,
Not
fight!
that.
In the way.
Oh.
Oh
Holy
fuck!
shit.
Oh my god! Oh my fuck! Oh my god!
I didn't expect there would be, like, actual fighting.
Oh yeah.
Magic fight.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
what a beautiful curve!
The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and just for an instant, they broke Jessica's paralysis.
Am I dreaming?
Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to the hell you came from.
Goat noise.
Oh yeah.
Fire. Whoa!
There they go. Don't say ching chong.
What? No, I said Shing. What do you mean? I did not say that.
A strand of red had been left on Cannon's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly.
Feel free to mutter excuses about how your instincts still haven't returned quite yet. Cannon could stay strong.
It's okay. I won't die just yet.
Whoa, whoa!
What?
Whoa,
the
whoa,
hell?
whoa, whoa!
Whoa!
Oh,
You're crazy.
what happened?
Ooh.
Oh, bye.
Oh my god. He's dead. No!
Fuck.
No way
Bye.
they sliced through his PNG.
Bro,
No,
no,
dude.
Kenna.
Oh, no.
They sliced his
God.
PNG. No, dude.
He's been Control-T custom cropped.
Poor guy.
Oh, fire.
Oh, Jesus.
Fire.
The curve drawn by the goat attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Cannon
Excuse me.
wasn't there. He was behind it. Oh, on my wimble.
A mile
What the fuck?
She did.
Go back and await your master's return. Die.
Yeah! Yeah!
Did fucking Battler just like after image fucking pulled some Goku
He's like,
Frieza
no,
shit?
actually, he would get behind him.
This
Father
is the
rolled a
worst.
nat 20. He rolled a...
No, I don't even think they're rolling. This is just like text RP in the early
No,
2000s.
definitely.
No, actually.
No, actually...
Oh my god. If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Cannon coming from behind was check. And press and press and press. Use 7 more moves and make it mate. Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even been granted the ability to go into death throes. As its knees buckled and it fell over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop. There was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle would surely realize that Cannon had been magnificent.
So, I couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems you aren't quite that pathetic.
You're next, Beatrice!
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The instant Cannon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form, like a knife through butter, she turned into gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and just for an instant, the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Cannon himself had said. Slicing Beatrice was just the same as slicing the surface of the water, where the moon was reflected. The witch's form, with an ordinary expression on his face, as though she'd been there the whole time, was right behind Cannon.
You've provided quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, I thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind.
Don't lie. I won't let you kill Milady. Even if that's impossible, I won't let you kill her while I still live.
You can't even do that much.
Do not speak, furniture. Be silent, furniture. Know your place, furniture. Cannon-kun isn't furniture.
Oh, and what makes you think that?
I don't need a reason. Cannon-kun is Cannon-kun. No, his real name's different. But a name doesn't make him furniture. Cannon-kun has his own way of living. That's a noble thing. And it's something he gets to decide. True. And it's something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture? That he can't live his own life because he's furniture? That's wrong!
Milady, you mustn't provoke her.
No, I've gotta make this clear. Cannon-kun isn't furniture. He's human. Why? Why? Cannon-kun rushed to save me of his own free will. And he stood in the path of a fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Cannon-kun's human. So take it back. Don't you call Cannon-kun furniture again!
I like that, Adam. Yeah, in the game, Beatrice is like, all right, my goat guy's gonna kill him with the arm blade. Balor's like, actually, Cannon has one too, and it's red.
And it's red.
And he literally gets behind him and does a sneak attack and kills her.
That's so
And she's just like,
fire.
okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Milady.
Oh my god, are they gonna Umi freak in front of her now?
Be silent, human! Let's end this quickly, since this is still just the second twilight after all. Now, I shall sacrifice the two who are close, who have acknowledged each other's dignity.
Womp
Well
womp.
then, arise! Forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory, lust!
The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face.
Hey, girl. Asmodeus of Lust, right here.
I've had enough of this farce. Quickly, execute the second twilight.
Yeah, she's got a crazy outfit.
Don't keep me waiting, Gordit.
As you command. Another weirder's showing up. Weirder's.
It took Cannon less than an instant to understand. That goat face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value.
Wow, I must be lucky to be given such wonderful prey. You scared? How cute!
Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you.
You're acting pretty smart for a dunce who can't even follow me with his eyes. Here I go, Kay. Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, cutie. I'll pierce you good wherever you want. Come on, answer me, cutie.
Don't call me cute.
Here I go, you dunce. Come on, try and follow me, you blind idiot.
This sucks, bro. He's gonna get owned still. Yeah, I think he's dead now.
Milady.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The Dwippies. I couldn't follow it with my eyes, but my guess was spot on. Serves you right.
Oh, dude.
Cannon's
Oh,
back
no.
had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it.
My bad.
She'd predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of a fair and
Oh,
opposite of fair
she
and
hella
honest.
Piccolo Gohan him.
Yeah.
His back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Cannon's back. So, she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed from its form into a demon's stake was buried deep into Jessica's back. It was obviously a fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh, because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted.
What's wrong, Canon? Milady Jessica just got killed while you still lived, didn't she? Yes, that's it, that face, that look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die, make me laugh.
She never loses, bro.
Come, arise, forgive the sin. One of the 7 sticks of purgatory, wrath.
Dude.
Did
Oh,
that
Satan!
thing. Satan!
Satan!
Satan's a hot anime girl!
Huge.
You dude, I could be the stakes of purgatory. I don't really care.
Shane, you haven't done a lady yet.
Oh God, do I have to be a lady?
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
One of
I'll
us
be them.
can do it if you
I'll
want.
okay.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah, dude, literally do whatever voice. Who
Shane
cares?
lady.
Okay, well, I can do one effeminate voice, so I'm just
Okay,
gonna
then
do
this
that
is your one.
This is your one.
Satan of Wrath, right here.
Let's go.
This prey is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtain on his stage.
On the way, man.
If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down. But since you're furniture, maybe I should say it's time for the stage manager to carry you behind the stage.
I am not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again.
Oh, what's this? You want to be killed by me again?
Oh.
Your chest, it's so warm and it feels good to pierce it. Come on, let me have another taste, okay? Why don't you make me feel really good with that hot, fresh blood in that warm chest of
That's
yours?
gross, lady! You're gross! You're gross! Why does it make like a cowbell sound? Is Beatrice ringing the cowbell behind her?
Wait, no, that's literally the same. The aliens with the shield in fucking EDF. That's the same
Really?
exact.
Oh, it is! It is the same sound! It's the same sound.
It's the same exact. Oh
I
my
love
god.
stock sounds, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's the ones with the shield that literally goes. Excuse me. There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker
that.
filled the entire room. And before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's impossible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this was an obvious result in accordance with the rules. Cannon landed on his knees, and he apologized, not to the witch, and not to Milady. He apologized to Jessica.
I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you.
Don't worry about it. You were really cool.
Cannon finally fell over.
Fine.
He landed next to Jessica, and the two lay there like the constellation Gemini. They literally doing the death scene from fucking Helsing when Pip dies.
Fire.
Yeah.
No,
Oh god.
Kennan-kun, you weren't furniture anymore.
Yes, I was too late in realizing that.
I wanted to ask you what your real name was.
My real name is...
No! No!
In his last moments, Cannon wanted to tell her his real name, but Jessica had already fallen into a sleep from which she would never wake. So Cannon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell it to Jessica.
I became human.
Fire.
Nah.
You did it.
Those were the last words Cannon left behind.
The furniture fucker does not get her win.
Don't make me laugh, furniture! Even after 100 years, furniture will still be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? You smash furniture to pieces and make firewood, so all that's left is ashes. That's how it is. Furniture gets no tombstone. It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead.
Damn.
After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch breathed the smoke at Cannon's
No,
corpse.
she puffed on his corpse.
She fucking vaping on the dead. When she did, Cannon's corpse softly floated up into the air and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a mouth in empty space. The witch played dirty
Oh boy.
until the very end.
Ready for another locked room?
The corpses of the pair who managed to understand each other in the end were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they would have probably said mournfully, so this is what she meant by disgracing the dead. However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason that would soon become apparent. Oh, God.
Full metal.
Bingus.
Full metal bingus.
Also, it's not a locked room, dude. It's called a closed
My
room.
bad. Closed
I think
room.
you should know. I think you should know your
My
terms.
bad. Beatrice replacing closed rooms with freaky rooms?
With freaky roofs.
Nah, they definitely did not get freaky in there.
That was a
I
little
was
freaky.
waiting for something like that though. Like I was hoping the killings would get a bit more like intimate and they'd provide like character moments, you know? Because that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, hey. You can feel it, bro?
So, it has begun.
Oh.
Yes.
Even though Kinzo had received news of 6 deaths, his emotions did not waver. The expression on his face as he gazed out the window was a smile, as though his opponent in a chess game had just made a spectacular move. It was hard to imagine that such expression could ever appear on a father who had lost so many children at once.
Yeah, literally all of his children died, except Rosa. Like,
Yeah,
he
well, I
was
mean,
like,
bro, he
"Man."
brought them all here for this shit, so he doesn't
Yeah,
care.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he probably gave Kennen the magic bullshit just so he would have a higher chance of dying.
Mm.
Godard and Cannon followed Rosa Summer's orders and went to call the police. After that, she ordered us to follow your orders, Master. What shall we do? This island has already been cut off from the real world. Mere phones will serve no purpose. Should I have them stop? Until the roulette is finished, what they do to pass the time is up to them. Let them do as they please. Yes, sir.
What should we tell Rosa, Summer?
Didn't I say they should pass the time as they pleased? They can sing if they want, dance if they want.
Oh.
They're even free to hang themselves by the neck or jump into a boiling kettle. Until 13 people die, they can spend their time as they like.
Yeah, bro, he does not care.
If that's too boring, they can wonder about whether 6 times 9 equals 42 or something.
True.
Did he just make a
Yes,
Hitchhiker's
yes,
Guide joke?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Fuck you, author. Fuck you, author. I'm not even reading that. Next.
He's a real Westaboo.
Oh my god, that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. There was a good book. Just all these grimoires and shit, and then he's
Genji's like, what is this? And he's like,
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, right next to Fahrenheit, like 452 or something.
Right next to my Spider-Man, what is it? Amazing Comics issue #1, worth $2 million.
Real. So real.
Oh my god.
Fire.
Shannon cowered in fright at the sudden rage. Genji made a gesture as though telling her not to speak out of turn. Shannon couldn't help but regret saying too much.
However, you two are also free to do as you wish. Genji, and Shannon too. You have done well serving me until today.
Your words are too good for me. But,
We are furniture who have sworn to serve the master. We stand ready to serve you, no matter the time, until the very end.
I want to tell you about everything.
Sorry, chat. I had to audible gasp for this one. This is huge.
I don't think I've ever heard you audibly gasp, except for at Kingdom
Shannon.
Hearts.
I'm going to write a will. I shall need you to transcribe for me. Please, Genji, my usual drink.
Oh, he's gonna get him the weird green potion.
yes, sir.
He's goblin serum.
Get me my scissor.
Double cup, sir.
You fucking know it. Make it green, I'm tired of purple.
They like dap each other.
Holy fuck.
Chat, if anybody out there is a drawer, can
Dude,
we
we
please get
need that.
Genji and Kinzo with the scissor double cup dabbing each other up?
Shannon's just standing there in the corner like, oh god. Oh, it's so fire.
Whew, okay. Nandro often recommended that Kinzo write a will because of his health, but each time he had, Kinzo had gone mad with rage. Ever since then, you'd think will would have been the word Kinzo hated most. After hearing such a word come from his lips, Shannon couldn't help but doubting her ears for an instant. Shannon hurriedly prepared the side table, some writing paper. Genji followed his orders and began preparing that usual green evil drink.
Dude, it's his green goblin serum.
Green evil drink.
It's making him all fucked up and crazy.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh my god. Just that image is too funny. Okay.
Where should I begin? Shall I also speak of my life? It'll be fun to leave behind a record of my most memorable games. It can be truly amusing to read the records of old games from centuries past, to journey in search of those players' thoughts. So, should the game record of my life lead to those in the furniture to go on a journey in
where?
search of my thoughts? What? In the future? Dear God.
Genji,
I've seen
take
that
your-
word
take the
so
green
many.
drink away.
Sorry, Morty, a little bit off. Getting skiz up, as they say.
Oh my god.
Those in the future to go on a journey and search for my thoughts.
For a while, Kinzo pondered over where he should begin, strutting all over the room with his hands behind his back.
Running into tables. Oh
Master,
wait, he hasn't heard yet.
here.
Yes, thank you, my friend. Well then, if I am to speak of my life, I must begin by writing of my meeting with that witch. Shannon, begin writing. My first meeting with Beatrice took place a long way back. What year of the Showa era was it? Must have been at the end of the war, so...
Please tell me we get the flashback. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh wait, no, that's the chapel.
No!
Duh!
Battler, battler.
I got cucked.
You got battler cucked, bro. Cock blocked.
Man, whatever.
Cock blocked. Cock blocked.
We took enough time to regain our claim. Or our
What?
calm.
I can't.
I'm not tripping. It runs in the family, you know?
Yeah.
The alcoholism.
Yeah.
It's okay, we'll pass it down to you.
And we each swore to our parents that we'd catch the culprit. It would be a lie to say we weren't still torn up. Even now, if we let our guards down just a little, we'd probably start going on a rampage just like Jessica, letting our emotions show with some kind of violence. According to what Goda-san said after he got back, right now Canon-kun was looking after Jessica. Apparently, she was still very emotionally high-strung.
Uh-oh.
I see. Thank you. Maybe a young kid would be better at understanding a young kid's feelings. It would probably be better if we left them alone for now.
Oh
Rosa-san,
no!
there is nothing more to be gained by remaining here. The phones may not be working, but tomorrow the boat will come, and we should be able to reach the police. We should leave this place as it is for the police's investigation.
I agree with Dr. Nanjo. Staying in a place like this for too long will be bad for your health. Let us return and make some black tea.
Yeah, I agree with that. Battler-kun, George-kun, are you ready? Let's lock up here. We gotta leave this place as it is anyway, for when the police come, like he literally just said.
You're right. Battler-kun. You okay?
Yeah, I've cried all I can. I'm fine now. The police would surely find some evidence during their thorough investigation. But we weren't adult enough to wait for that. I'd investigated the chapel in my own way, trying to grab the culprit before the police arrived. And what I figured out was absolutely nothing, frustratingly. I wasn't able to find a single hint.
Come on, let's go out. Maria, we're going. Don't keep staring at it.
Come, Maria-sama. Let us return. It's cold here. Father, Mother, thank you for everything. I will definitely become a man who doesn't betray your expectations.
George spoke his last... Oh, wait, no, he said just George.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
narrator.
George spoke his last words of farewell to his parents. After seeing that, Battler followed suit.
Dad, Kirie-san. Just looking at their faces, it looked like they were sleeping, but that just made it even more painful. Forgive me for leaving you in a cold place like this. I'll definitely get whoever did this, no matter what.
What is this? What a repulsive scribble. Did the culprit draw it?
This is worse than vulgar. How horrible.
When the door to the chapel was closed, we learned about that creepy scribble for the first time.
When we first found this, it was already drawn here. It must have been made by the culprit.
So supposedly the culprit was a witch, and this is a magic circle to summon a demon or something?
This is the seventh magic circle of the sun. Don't you even know that? Ouch!
Hey! Don't I always tell you not to make that creepy laugh?
Maria, go on. What does it mean?
It's a magic circle to escape from physical or mental bonds. And the part written around the circumference says, "The Lord has freed me from my chains. I will offer you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call on the name of the Lord in Hebrew."
Sacrifice of Thanksgiving? So they killed Father and the rest to use them as human sacrifices for this magic circle?
Calm down, George Kuhn. This is the culprit trying to provoke us. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Thinking about it will only poison the heart.
And looks like there's some English written here. Happy Halloween for Maria. I get it. And the key to open this door was handed over to Maria. Is that what's going on?
Well, this is the chapel after all. Maybe Maria doesn't mean Maria-chan, but the Virgin Mary?
Dude, they literally said Halloween. Come on.
In that case, you could read this as a blasphemy against God in the name of Halloween. They say witches who make contracts with demons swear to defile God's name at all times. In that sense, it really is a witch-like crime.
Sounds like you know a lot about it. Did you get that from Maria?
Yeah, something like that.
The chapel, huh? They went to all the trouble of calling them out here and killing them. Aunt Rosa, does this chapel have some special meaning?
What do you mean, a special meaning?
Well, someone carried 6 human corpses all the way over here and set up those elaborate decorations. We can't tell if she called the 6 of them over here before killing them, or if she killed them before carrying them over here. But either way, it'd take a lot of effort. Why did the culprit want 6 people to die here?
True. By doing something that elaborate, there would be an extremely high chance of some disadvantageous evidence being found when the police arrive. It is inconceivable that the culprit would fail to realize this. The issue now is why the culprit went to all that effort.
And that leads us to just one question. What meaning is there to this place where we found the 6 corpses?
This chapel was important to Father. Ever since I was a kid, I was given strict instructions to never enter it.
I came here once too. Got in lots of trouble.
An important chapel. Does it have some connection to the Shiromiya head family?
I don't know. Father viewed this chapel as very sacred, and he treasured it so much that he had it redecorated several times. But as everyone knows, Father wasn't a devout believer, as his passion for black magic demonstrates. I've never heard of him coming here to offer his prayers to God.
Yeah, so he wasn't Christian. Okay.
Probably just part of him
Westerby.
being a Westerbu, yeah.
Yeah, right?
As far as I know, the master had never come here. We even call this the sealed chapel, and I found it eerie. Like a haunted house.
Even though Father never approached it himself, for some reason he made the servants give it a major cleaning several times a year. It felt like he kept it clean all the time so that it could be used at any moment.
And even so, it's called the Sealed Chapel. Maybe it's indiscreet to say this, but doesn't that sound pretty cool? Dr. Nanjo, you're an old friend of Grandfather's, right? Have you heard anything about it?
I did ask about it once long ago, but I forget exactly how he dodged my question. That's right, I believe he said something like, someday, perhaps I too will be able to receive a blessing there. But unless a miracle occurs, that day will never come.
What does that mean? What would he do in that chapel? He couldn't mean his own funeral, right?
I wouldn't believe that of Kinzo-san. He was a man much more focused on the living, now than matters occurring after death. Though, this does seem to be the root cause of the current inheritance problem.
Then what would he do in a chapel? Pray? Aren't confessions done in a chapel too? Anyway, it sounds suspicious.
I don't know the reason, but just as Dr. Nanjo said, in Grandfather's eyes, all this is about not being blessed unless a miracle occurred. Set in stone as far back as this chapel's construction.
How do you know that?
See, it's clearly written over there. Look, right there.
George Aniki pointed to a relief with rusted gold letters on the arc above the door. It looked like some message had been written there in English. The rust made it clear that the message had been there ever since the chapel's construction. I'm not that good with English. What is it? This door is opened only at probability of... Sorry, my English sucks. I gave up after failing to finish even the first of the 2 lines. It looked like the others could read it properly.
Damn, he's dumb.
I think it went from MBTQ, so... Does that mean? I think...
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, this is incredible. Adding up all the fingers on both hands doesn't even get you close. It really would be impossible unless a miracle occurred.
Certainly. It's quite reminiscent of the old Kinzo-san who loved using gambling as a metaphor whenever he got the chance.
Hey, come on, can everyone read it? Someone tell me what it means too.
You gotta at least learn English. How did you get into high school without even being able to read this much? Ouch. 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 Ouch.
Mind your own business. So what's written there?
Simply put, it means something like this. Unless a miracle occurs, this door will never be opened. Unless a miracle occurs, you will never be blessed. Grandfather's magic is based on astronomically low probabilities. In other words, a miracle for opening this door would probably require an incredibly vast amount of magical power. Ouch.
Nice job. You can shut up now. Rosa-san, did you have Maria take English classes? Looks like it's useless to try and learn English unless you start when you're young after all.
The sealed chapel, huh? Setting aside whether she was a witch or not, it's rumored that Beatrice actually existed several decades ago and was grandfather's mistress. This is just my imagination, but perhaps the master truly did love Beatrice-sama. However, he was already married, so they couldn't be united.
I see. If Beatrice was dead and could be revived with the magic of a miracle, then now that grandfather's dead, or now that grandmother's dead, you could marry her openly. And if they married in this chapel, you might end up with a pretty fairy tale-like story, right?
I don't think that story is so preposterous. It's a well-known fact that father still loves Beatrice deeply. Although, even though I said I found it creepy, I seem to remember that the interior of the chapel was quite magnificent. The thought that father built this chapel in the hopes of having a wedding with his dead mistress might not be that unlikely.
By the time he built the chapel, grandfather probably knew that he would never use it as a church as long as he lived. But he prayed for the witch to be revived by some miracle. And he thought that if a miracle occurred, they could be married here. I see. If you think of it that way, this would be a place of utmost significance to Beatrice-sama as well, even though he knew the chapel would never be opened. It's a story of tragic love.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, because, like, you know, he's, like, softcore in cahoots with her, because I was thinking at a point, I was like, I wonder if he's, like, helped her set up the killings, right? But, like, he died the first time because she caught him out, and, he seems to be the only person that Beatrice doesn't have any type of, like, contempt for.
I think we're getting sort of bamboozled by him. I think he might be a little bit more aware of, like, the battler side of playing the game, because he seemed to be aware that this was, like, another shot.
Yeah, seriously. Because, he didn't leave the room at the same time he did last time. And he also, like, he literally spoke as if he knew what was going on. So, it's very possible that his craziness plus Green Goblin serum plus his magic studies might have given him some kind of, like, heightened consciousness, and he's aware of the time loop.
Possibly, because he's constantly, like, in a place where his family or no one else can see him. So I'm wondering if, like, in the same thing for Battler, how he's outside of the game board. I wonder if Kinzo's able to peek outside of the
Dude, maybe he can. I don't know.
Board. Interesting.
That's a good question. Even though Goda-san was even bigger than me, his words were touching. Everyone was silent, but it seemed that they agreed with that view.
Oh shit. Even though I was snacking on something. Okay. Even though I know our trap would ever to be open, you still probably dreaming of the day that a miracle could occur. Kenjo-san was quite romantic in the younger days. I think I understand info.
It's like when old guys get like that phlegm and they gotta cough and swallow. Yeah. I wonder. Then again, everyone went in it 4 times a year to clean, right? So much for it being the sealed chapel. Didn't we just go in ourselves? That wasn't a miracle or anything. We brought the key, click, and we're in. That's all. This is ridiculous.
Huh? What? Then, what does that mean?
What are you talking about? As far as I could tell, I'd just been joking around, finding myself a bit irritated by the sob story this was turning into. But then Aunt Rosa suddenly jumped on me with a really serious face. Aunt Rosa's face grew increasingly pale. She looked at the magic circle on the door, and then at her hand, back and forth, back and forth.
What's the matter, Rosa-sama?
Hey, Goda-san, the key to this chapel. Didn't Genji say it? He said there was only one!
Huh?
It took you all way too long to figure it out.
When a kid pulls a prank, it sometimes goes unnoticed by the adults, and the kid who did it gets all disappointed. If such a prank then gets sprung on someone much later, it can really make a kid's day. Maria's celebration just now looked a lot like that.
Yes, that's right. There's only one of those keys. It's key to the Master's Treasure Chapel, so there's only one, with no duplicates. It's normally kept safe in the key box in the servant room, but...
That's right. And Genji-san said it had gone missing. So, someone stole it, put it in an envelope and handed it to Maria? And they did it yesterday!
What the? So in other words,
Oh.
Isn't that strange?
That's absurd. This is getting bizarre. What do you mean? I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Me neither. Would you explain it for us?
Goda and Nanjo's failure to understand definitely wasn't because they were stupid. They didn't know. They didn't know how long the only key to the chapel had been in Maria's possession.
There's no mistake! It was locked up! I unlocked it! There's no doubt!
Aunt Rosa kept closing the door, locking it, pulling on it to check the lock, and opening it again. Her face was becoming pale again.
Until I took the key out of Maria's envelope and opened this door, it was definitely locked! But this key was in an envelope placed in Maria's care! And it happened yesterday before noon! What did you say?
But that doesn't make any sense.
You're right. Maria received a one-of-a-kind key from a woman calling herself a witch midday yesterday. In other words, from midday yesterday until this morning, when Rosa-san unlocked the door, this chapel was a closed room.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. How did they get those 6 people in here? And then how did they kill them? The deaths of 6 people had shaken us badly. When we learned about that weird magic circle and the history of the chapel, we felt as though we'd figured at least part of this puzzle out. But that was all absolutely trivial. From midday yesterday until this morning, this chapel was a closed room. But our parents were here with us until last night. How did the culprit get into this building? How did they lock it up again?
Hey.
Oh boy. What are you trying to pull? Again? A closed room again? Are you trying to say you unlocked it with the power of magic? Don't take me for a fool.
If you're demanding that I show you how to open locks with my power, I wouldn't mind. But that wouldn't be the same as me forcing you to surrender. You keep trying to explain it all with humans. Only when I've cornered all your theories completely will I have my victory. Come now, how will you undermine my defenses? What trick could a human have used to defeat them,
It's just like the closed rooms last time. Not enough information. It's impossible to reason like this. Any excuse could be made, any trick could work. There's no way to reason it out.
Ha! That again? There's not enough information, so you'll wait and see. Your information is uncertain, so it's impossible to use your reasoning. Ha! This is always the excuse you humans use to let yourself stop thinking. Who do you think you are, lowly human? Are you saying you can't even think unless you're like Laplace's demon, you incompetent fool? Besides, you make it seem like a lack of information works against you. But it's the other way around, you see. The more information you're given, the more it will make you suffer. It'll only increase the strength of the compressor that's squeezing you.
Oh, in that case, let me say this. It's impossible to verify that this is a closed room in the first place. If we're already talking about demons, I can play that game too. It'd be possible to prove that this isn't a closed room. Just show how someone could have gone in or out, and you're done. But it's impossible to prove that this is a closed room. You could never deny the endless set of possible methods for getting in. In other words, this is one of those devil's proofs. This concept of a closed room is actually something that can never be proved.
So, first you stop thinking, with lack of information as an excuse, and now this. Very well. If that is your move, then I will accept it. Continue.
First off, it looks like you're trying to claim that the chapel's a closed room. Just a short while ago, I spent some time looking around in there, and I couldn't find any way in or out except for the door. But that just means I couldn't find one. It doesn't prove it was a closed room. If there's a hidden door or something that I wasn't able to find, your premise would be blown away completely. In other words, whether I managed to find a hidden door or not, you'll never be able to deny that there existed some method X that had let you into the closed room. And this method X would be something that could be carried out without magic. After all, it's a hidden door. I'm sure that in this chapel there's some hidden door that's impossible to find. That's why there's no reason for me to reason it out, and magic is still impossible.
Oh, so you use that logic. How naive. An expected move. Let me make my move in response. These closed rooms used in detective novels made by mere humans always seem utterly ridiculous to me. Why? Because they're used the wrong way. When a closed room appears in a detective novel, do you really think it's a closed room? You don't, do you? What trick did they use to make this look like a closed room? That's what you think. In other words, there hasn't been a completed closed room in the any of closed room murderers that humans have built over the last century.
Uh-huh.
Oh, better not say that unless you want to face the wrath of the mystery fans. Christie's probably going to be grinding her teeth in her grave.
But I am different. I have given birth to a true closed room, and I can demonstrate it. Why? Because I am a witch. For the devil's proof, you only had to bring someone a demon to prove they exist, correct? Well, I conveniently happen to be a witch, meaning that demons are my good friends, and I could bring you as many of them as you like.
Sounds great! Dad and the rest used a hidden door to enter the chapel or were carried in through it. How do you plan to beat that move?
With this, regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the six definitely entered through the door.
Huh? Dumbass! The door was locked, so how'd they do it?
I opened it with magic and invited them inside.
That can't be true! Since I can't accept magic, there's no way I'll accept that! You're lying! That door can be opened with some trick. Or maybe there's a hidden door. But I won't accept any other way!
Perpetual check. That's what we call an endless repetition of moves in chess. It's the same endless repetition as a discussion that won't advance because both sides deny the basis of each other's claims, like our game. In most games, this would be resolved as a draw, but that would put a terrible damper on our fun. We will have no draws. You will either accept me and submit to me, or you will deny me.
Also, she didn't bother trying to prove how they all went through the door or how that was apparent, because there's no evidence.
I'm assuming that's probably what he's about to say. Knowing him.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. At least I agree with you there. Hold it.
There you go.
We'll settle this without fail, just as you wish.
I like that attitude. So, I had a thought. I think I'll add a new rule to this game between the two of us.
A new rule? I'll bet it's something that'll give you an advantage, right?
Of course not. I'll give you the thing people like you always demand. The reason you always stop thinking and moan about it is a lack of information. And if you are then given information, you start doubting whether the information is true or not by rejecting the source. Isn't that convenient? What clever little words to hide your own incompetence. I'm offering to eliminate that convenient excuse of yours. You should thank me.
You said they entered through the door, and I said that couldn't happen. Are you calling that an evasive answer?
Exactly. So from now on, when I speak the truth, I will use red.
What is this? Keep explaining.
No matter what magical move I use, you could always keep running away by chanting lack of information and rejecting the source. Even though I would still win in the end that way, it would be extremely boring. Because of that, I'd be happy to give you the information and sources you so desire. However, you'll probably doubt each word I say. That isn't bad in itself. I also will use every possible move to make you submit. I don't dislike our posture of searching out our best moves for our own goals. But that will make a game, so I set up this rule. Everything I speak in red is the truth. There's absolutely no need to doubt it.
Are you telling me to believe that?
This is a game between you and me. In a game, the rules are sacred. Those who take that lightly are not qualified to play.
Okay, I get you. I'll accept that rule. Even an elementary school kid can get into an endless argument and find fault with everything. And let's start it up again, continuing where we left off. I'll say it one more time. Dad and the rest use a hidden door to enter the chapel, or were carried in through it.
Then I shall repeat what I said. Regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the six definitely entered through the door.
Is there any proof?
Stop! I will supplement the rule. When I speak the truth, I will use red. And when I do, I will not bear the responsibility of establishing that claim by showing proof.
No
it will simply
way.
be facts and the
Bruh.
truth. My reason is simple. I carry out all the crimes with magic. So for any impossible crime, all I have to do is wave my magic staff and show you how it's done. But that wouldn't make a game. It would be as barbaric as ignoring victory and defeating a chess match by punching your opponent in the face.
No, I get what she's saying, because, like, instinctually, like, you would want to be like, oh, that's cheating. But, like, the basis of her claim is literally not being accepted by him, so she doesn't have to prove shit.
Yeah.
Like, if he won't even engage with the premise, she doesn't have to tell him anything. Well, that makes sense. Since you're a witch, there's no need for you to show evidence for what happened. Since you can do anything with magic. Damn it! Talk about an unfair game!
So, shall we resume once more? The six definitely entered through the door.
No, I wasn't
am
read that
locked in
time.
with magic. How will you get around this magic, this closed room?
The key! Genji-san and the others said there was only one key, but that's impossible to prove. The culprit secretly made a duplicate key.
Only one key to the chapel exists.
Then what about this? The culprit made something other than a legitimate key and opened it. I don't know what, but maybe a wire. A tool for picking locks.
What is this naive move? It is impossible to unlock the lock to the chapel with anything but the chapel's key. Although it can be opened with the power of magic, right?
Cue the TikTok lock eye. You are using a Japanese 1984 3-pin tumbler lock. It can be opened using a toothpick.
Oh yeah.
Fire.
Then what about this? There's something wrong with the door itself. There was some way to pass through it even while it was locked. As to what that is, I can think of a few ways. Maybe it's like those big doors on a castle that have a smaller door in them. It's also possible that they removed the hinges and then removed the whole door before entering.
Is this the best a century of human wisdom can manage, battler? When the door to the chapel is locked, it prevents any and all methods of entry or exit. A Assuming you can't use magic, right? It's about time for check. Oh, is it about time for checkmate?
Not even close. You said those 6 people entered through a door, but you didn't say it was the front door. They might have entered through another door, a secret one.
You talk too much, you incompetent fool. Then let me expand on my earlier move. The 6 definitely entered through this front door.
Let's screw up. The door was locked. It was impossible to unlock it without using that single key. And yet 6 people entered through it? How? With magic, you say? Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Are we already seeing the limits of what humanity can manage? Then shout that you resign. When one admits defeat, it's customary to shout it out and knock over their own king. So, do you resign? Then announce your surrender and knock your king over by kneeling. Then you may kiss my shoes. There could be no greater joy than forcing a man like you to lick my shoes!
Damn it. It's useless, useless, useless! So I can't win against the witch? This isn't chess at all. I've just been made to take the losing side in a chess puzzle. Is quibbling about details and getting a draw the best I can manage?
That's one thing that'll never happen. Either I will surrender or you will. There can be no other resolution. What happened to that bravery you displayed when you said this would be torture for us both? Hey, what a disappointment! What a total letdown! Wouldn't you say you should be a battler?
Damn it! What should I do? What should I do? I can see it. I can see the place where I'll face checkmate. Oh, it's useless. It's useless. All my hard-fought moves have been nothing more than me desperately moving my king around, running away from check. No matter how many times I move, I can't escape from check. So even without waiting for the next several moves, I can see checkmate in my future. Ah, damn it! After a few more moves, I can see where I'll face checkmate. Don't give up, Yoshiromi a battler. If I can see myself getting closed in upon, and if I spin the chessboard around, I should be able to anticipate her next move, right? Remember what Kirie-san said. When you're thinking about something, then the closer you get to the very, very end, the easier it becomes to anticipate. Spin it around. Spin the chessboard around!
Yeah, baby. Spin that board around.
We got closed room and chessboard
Yeah.
and devil's proof.
Huge!
What happened? You fell silent all of a sudden. Fear not. Surrender is but a momentary shame. After that, all that remains is the joy of entrusting your fate entirely to the hands of your new master. Come on, cry out in resignation. I can't hear you. Speak up and say it clearly.
Enough babbling. You're just refusing to listen. So I'll say it once more. I won't resign. Continue. Resume the game.
Oh, very well. It is your turn, after all.
I made the mistake of thinking this rule you made was your own weapon. However, I've realized that it can also become a weapon for me. It all comes down to this.
Please do give it a try.
I've been focusing all this time on how they entered the closed room of the chapel. That approach was useless. Nah, it's useless. It's all useless. Spin the chessboard around. That's right. I was thinking about it backwards. This is how I should approach it. How was the chapel, which wasn't a closed room in the first place, made to look like a closed room?
Here it comes. That thinking technique humans gave birth to over the course of a century. Give it a try.
Say this in red for me. If you can't, then refuse. Here I go.
Does this man intend to reverse his defensive posture? Impudence.
Do they actually know what chess is like, or are they both pretending? I don't know.
That's
The
so
comparisons they're
real.
making are pretty accurate. But they're definitely some fucking yappers for sure.
Yeah.
I
Welcome,
never
by the
actually
way.
played chess with
Yeah,
Battler.
well.
It was checkers.
Yeah, they think they're both really sophisticated. I get that the only way to enter the chapel is through the door, and that there's only one key. But wait. The question is whether that key really was handed over to Maria yesterday before noon.
My, but you're dragging this on. Do try and get to the point.
It's something like this. We've been under the impression that the key's unusable since midday yesterday. So we've assumed that this was a closed room from midday yesterday until this morning. I want to hear you say that this impression of yours is a solid fact.
Interesting. So, you turn your reasoning not to the door, but to the key.
Yesterday, Maria received an envelope from you. She didn't open it, but she might have felt it and known there was a key inside. But it's not like she'd have been able to confirm absolutely that it was the key to the chapel. Here's what I'm getting at. The thing inside the envelope given to Maria was a fake.
If you think about what you're saying, it's ridiculous. This morning, Rosa definitely took an envelope out of Maria's handbag, and from that obtained the genuine key to the chapel. It wasn't a fake, as you suggest.
I know that much. I'll continue. In that case, when Maria first received the envelope, the thing inside it was definitely that same key to the chapel, right?
Oh.
See what I'm getting at?
Oh,
Midday yesterday, you gave Maria an envelope with a key inside, and you told her that she mustn't open it. Maria probably realized it had a key inside. Later on, Aunt Rosa used the thing inside the envelope to open the door to the chapel, and that's why we assumed it was the key to the chapel all along. This is the suspicious part.
So this is what you're trying to say? That when I entrusted Maria with a key, that key was a fake? And then, by the time Rosa obtained it, it had been switched with the real thing?
Yeah, that's it. What's wrong, Beatrice Sama? You've been looking a bit pale for a while now, huh?
Those close to me sometimes call me Beato. Beato will do.
It's your turn, Beato. The turn of the Golden Witch. Let's see you dodge this.
Oh my god, that's the chapter name, guys! That's the chapter name! Oh my god, guys! Very well. The key to the chapel truly was the object inside the envelope I gave Maria.
I'll move forward. Can you repeat it in red? That envelope was completely under Maria's supervision until Aunt Rosa opened it. If you can't say it, then say you refuse. Check.
I refuse.
I've spun it all around with just one move. Now it's your king on the run, Beato.
I have a reason for refusing. It regards the definition of the phrase under her supervision. In its purest meaning, Maria would need to have her eyes on it around the clock for that to be true.
Oh,
But
she's
really
moving the
go that
goalpost!
far.
She's hella moving goalpost right now.
It may have been completely under her supervision when she took it out of her handbag, but after she put it inside, it disappeared from her field of vision.
Oh, they arguing semantics now.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. She's hella
Yeah.
moving the goalpost right now. She's
Yeah.
like, well, technically, what you mean is really this, which I can't answer.
In that sense, the phrase under her supervision would be inappropriate, so I couldn't use the red, nothing more.
I'll bet that move hurt. And your face tells me you've guessed the next one. Sorry. I'm kind to women. I don't hurt them. And I never betray a woman's expectations. It's time for you to repeat it in red, if you think you can. No one was able to touch Maria's handbag until Rosa took out the envelope.
I will also refuse this one. I won't explain the reason.
That's wrong. It's not that you won't explain it, it's that you can't explain it. That move gives us checkmate, doesn't it?
Oh.
If you can't do it, then I'll explain. The key to the chapel really was in the envelope you handed to Maria. Then, Maria put it in her handbag, and the next morning, Aunt Rosa took it out and opened the lock. However, Maria didn't have the handbag under her complete supervision. There's no need for magic. It's a closed room trick that's possible for a human. The human culprit handed Maria the key, and by making Aunt Rosa use it the next morning, they created the illusion that there was a closed room during that time.
Yeah.
You can't deny the possibility that during that time, the culprit took the key from Maria's handbag, used it, and returned it by morning. Can you say it in red? Repeat it! If you can say it, then say it! It's check again!
Let's go. Well, she's fine!
Nice.
Not yet. I removed the check. The envelope with the key in it should have been sealed with wax. Rosa took it from an unopened envelope.
Really? Then try saying it! Repeat it! The envelope handed over midday yesterday and the one Aunt Rosa opened are the same thing.
That I can repeat. The envelope I handed over to Maria and the one Rosa opened are the same thing.
Ha! It's useless. It's all useless. This doesn't even matter anymore. I expected more from you. I figured that if you were a bit better at reading between the lines, you'd resign right there. So I'm disappointed. You've betrayed my expectations.
What?
Who cares if the envelopes were the same? Envelopes can be sealed with wax over and over. The key inside is what's important. This time it's all over, Golden Witch. It's a real checkmate. I'll say it one more time. Repeat it! If you can say it, try saying it! The key to the chapel, inside the envelope Maria received, wasn't used even once until Aunt Rosa opened the envelope.
How could I, against a lowly human?
I'll keep on saying it, Beatrice. Repeat it! The key to the chapel inside the envelope Maria received wasn't used even once until Aunt Rosa opened the envelope. If you're gonna yell, then say you resign. This settles it. This is the truth. Before Aunt Rosa obtained Maria's key this morning, at one point, it passed to someone else's hands. Then they used it, resealed it, and returned it to Maria's handbag, making it look like it hadn't been used. This is a trick with a cheap loophole. The assumption that the key wasn't used because the sealing wax wasn't opened. Checkmate. There's no magic, and it's nothing more than a trick that was possible for humans.
In that case, who do you say stole the key? Try answering. This time, you try repeating it.
That's right. I'm making you repeat things all the time. I probably have to answer every once in a while. But I refuse. My condition for victory is denying a witch's existence. I'll prove that this impossible crime done with your magic was actually possible by human hands.
Doesn't he, Adam? Doesn't he?
I've smashed your closed room with something possible even for humans. However, I won't specifically investigate who the culprit is. Because I believe in humans. Because I definitely won't accept that there's a person among us who would steal the key from Maria, use it, and do something so horrible.
I give up! I resign! Just once for this skirmish, I give up. But you really are naive, battler.
Parting remarks are a loser's privilege. Say as many as you like.
Since
Damn.
you continue to deny my existence, you will eventually be cornered. After all, since you deny me, you will have to suspect those relatives that you can't stop loving. In the last moment, when you have to suspect one who is beloved to you, then you will surely accept my existence.
He can just not think you're a witch, bro.
True,
Yeah.
you have defeated me in this skirmish alone. However, that naive logic will definitely destroy you. You can't win against me after all. Who should be a battler?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Finally, bro finally got to do something
Let's
cool.
go, let's
Let's
go.
go.
He finally gets to be cool.
My
I've been
king,
waiting, dude.
My king.
I think this would be the good place to call it, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Rosa and the rest returned from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course, they were high-strung.
Ugh.
Battler and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies, returned to the parlor and sat in the sofas dazed, as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged, and looked just like normal. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly, by herself. So even if she was dazed, she would probably look just as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, it looked as though nothing about her changed from normal. Did Rosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which was clearly different from normal people? She stared at Maria's back as though looking at someone that wasn't quite heartwarming.
Not quite. Almost heartwarming, but not quite.
Eventually, Kumasawa came to say good morning. Her cheerful manner was clearly out of place, and she couldn't help but be bewildered by the strange atmosphere in the room.
Whoa! Thanks for following.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
Shout out Cringy, shout out Manucord.
Then,
Praise Beato.
Then, when she heard the details from Goda, she reacted loudly with shock.
Of course, you've contacted the police, right? What should we do at a time like this? Oh, what should we do?
Please, calm down and listen. It seems that a machine somewhere was a machine somewhere was somehow done in by the lightning last night. Because of that, we haven't been able to use the phones.
Oh yeah, I remember. This is where the phones go out.
What? Then, until the typhoon passes, we can't even contact the police?
Maybe Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical, even in this kind of situation. Rosa giggled.
Well, she's a sociopath, so...
Yeah,
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head cleared up a little.
Okay.
I've got to stay strong. It's not just Maria. I'm acting as a parent for George-kun and Battler-kun too, so I have to stay strong.
Rosa had been the youngest sibling with a large difference in age between her and the others. So, she always had been treated as a child. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her siblings, and she had built up a complex, becoming convinced of her own incompetence. So, she had developed a passive personality, asking her siblings for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. Now, Rosa was the only one of the 4 Shiromiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away, even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa would have to surpass this crisis as the head representative.
He's definitely gonna stay in there, by the way. Like, he's not moving.
Yeah, I'm
He's
not
gonna
a
sit
child
there and
anymore.
drink his lean.
True. Not a child.
Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver of the extension phone on the side table. Then she immediately remembered that the phones were down.
Nice, Rosa.
Oh yeah.
Genji and Shannon, whom she had sent to see Kinzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a good guess at what was going on. He was probably yelling something nonsensical again and becoming unmanageable. His precious chapel had been defiled with blood. That was easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately the phones were down, even locally.
Well, I mean, if they don't have an outgoing signal, it doesn't matter, right?
Well, it's like an internal system for the house, like a hotel would have. So I'm wondering.
Oh, like it's got like an internal phone line.
Like she was gonna call to the study. Like, yeah,
Oh, I
'cause
know
you
what
would
you're
need
saying,
that
yeah.
to call to the servants if you're gonna
Yeah,
ask for
okay.
shit, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Rosa decided to go to the study directly, with her own 2 feet. So the whole phone system is down. Her old self would have been too frightened to go to Kinzo. And in fact, if she did meet him, she would probably be blamed and somehow insulted. But this was no time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation.
Kumasawa-san, I'm going to see father. Take special care of George-kun and Battler-kun. I'm sure they're on edge right now.
They're both sitting on the
Yes,
couches
yes.
ruling.
True.
That may be true. It is truly pitiable. I shall make them something warm to drink.
Thank you.
Battler seems like he would enjoy a glass of warm milk.
Warm chalky milk.
Chucky Milky. Rosa went out into the hallway and headed toward Kinzo's study. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she'd spent her younger days in, and should have been full of memories, seemed somehow different. She began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall.
Damn.
Just then, in the faint darkness down the stairs behind Rosa's back, something glowed.
Oh!
Oh my
It was
god.
a single fluttering gold butterfly. It fluttered around and sparkled. That butterfly danced about without a sound. It was only natural. No one can hear the sound of a butterfly's wings beating. And then it came to a rest on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed the stairs. Rosa didn't notice it. If someone not in the know saw it, they'd probably assume it was just a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly that had been stuck there. Without noticing a thing, Rosa continued heading toward Kinzo's study.
She's gonna get hella owned by Beatrice now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey. So, how will you entertain me with this next one? There are still many, many pieces left.
Okay, this is outside the game board, Beatrice, because she's wearing the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's raining. It's pouring.
In the parlor, which had fallen silent again, the only sound was that of the TV that Maria was watching alone. If there was anything audible besides that, it was the sound of the rain, which had continued on and since the previous night.
Rip Ushiro Mia Maria, you would have loved brain rot.
Boom, 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 boom. Every one of those who had witnessed that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, as though praying that the events of this morning had all been a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen it, her reaction was slightly different. The silence itself seemed more unbearable to her, and she was anxious to encourage everyone, somehow. However, she was aware that she must avoid saying anything careless, and she seemed to be pondering how she could be most helpful. Normally, it would be time for breakfast. However, possibly because something so outrageous had happened, Koda seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. Or maybe everyone was so beaten up they had forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they should do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But she really was hungry, so she casually made a proposal.
Imagine, bro, your fucking family just gets killed and then bitch comes up to you asking
What's
bacon and sausage. How do you want your eggs?
It seems
Scrambled like my fucking dad's guts. She was actually the murderer, and then she does the same killing scheme again, but stuffs them with eggs.
Real.
Seems everyone is tired after all that has happened. In times like these, I think the best thing is to heat yourself with some warm black tea.
Indeed, that is an excellent plan. I agree as well.
Where are my characters, man?
How about some delicious black tea with biscuits and jam? Yes, I hear Halloween will be here soon.
Oh, trigger! PTSD!
Ah,
PTSD!
Halloween! Happy Halloween for Maria!
We have some
Yippee!
delicious-looking pumpkin-shaped cookies on the shelf.
Kumasawa-san, that's...
She does not give a fuck, bro.
She didn't know! She didn't know!
She didn't know.
Oh, I forgot she wasn't
She
there.
wasn't there.
Of course, she had said the wrong thing. She had reminded Battler and the
Battler's
rest
gonna
about that
crash out.
horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nanjo hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear.
Battler-san, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Truly, I didn't.
No, don't worry about it. I'll definitely turn this boiling anger back on the culprit.
Well, for Peer Man, we do whatever. How do you say questions? I can't.
Fupa
We
man?
do this every week.
Every
we do
Saturday.
Every Saturday
Every
is
Saturday.
UMINEKO Day.
Is Umi Play Day. Like you said, when we finish the first part. I hated it. I was so mad even after the tea party. I was like, this is
Yeah,
this is
me
some
and Shane
bullshit.
were not super into the narrative in episode 1, and then episode 2 started, and we immediately got grabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 2 started with George being like a sadistic motherfucker. Like,
Be a
just
little
Oh yeah,
freaky.
he was like,
No,
I'm gonna give you back shots while I slap that
Yeah.
shit, Shannon.
Yeah.
Marry me.
Marry
He's
me.
like,
She was like, okay.
put this rubber bit in your mouth and shut the fuck up. And
But on the inside, George is like, I gotta be a man for her. I gotta be a
have to
man
be
for
a-
her.
I love my wife. I love my wife.
I love my wife. I have to dominate her for her sake.
It's so real. It's so real. I love George. Anyway, George. Anyway.
I wonder if that culprit is still on the island.
Probably. At least until the typhoon passes, no boat will come.
Yes, that is true. After all, the boats stop coming even when it's just a little windy. They certainly
don't
wouldn't
stop
come during a typhoon, yes.
Fed to the rules, you hit the ground running. I mean, it creeps me out.
Didn't play smart, but your head gets dumb. You think so? Aniki, me too. And that's not even putting aside whether the culprit's that mystery guest or not.
So much
No
to
spoilers.
do, so much to see.
If you spoil your band, I'll kill you.
Indeed. We've naturally suspected the mysterious guest who calls herself Beatrice, but we still cannot be certain she is the culprit. There is still a possibility she's a victim whose corpse still hasn't been found.
Yeah, because she fucking disappeared right after everyone died.
Well, when I think of it that way, there's something I just can't understand.
Wait, stuff that's already been said?
Oh, well, if we're dumb and we missed it, then you can bring it up.
Jamie, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Huh, it's something I must have missed then. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It's simple. It's just like Kumasawa Bachan said a short while ago. Right now, this island is right in the middle of a typhoon, and escape is impossible. The same thing goes for the culprit. In that case, having the crime come to light should have been the thing the culprit wanted to avoid the most.
I see. So there was no need to draw that creepy magic circle on the entrance to the chapel, show off the fact that the corpses were there.
Yeah, that's it. And if they were able to take the time and effort to do something so horrible to those 6 people, it should have been possible for them to hide the 6 corpses where they'd be impossible to find.
I agree. That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died. It was directed at the people who would eventually discover it. Us. It's probably safe to say that the magic circle was there to help us find it.
The culprit knows they won't be able to escape from this island for a while, and yet they acted as though they wanted to make us find the corpses in the middle of this typhoon. What does it mean? If I were the culprit, I definitely wouldn't play around and make us find the bodies.
Beatrice Samo was not in a room, and the room didn't seem particularly disturbed. No, milady did disturb it quite a lot, though. Oh, don't bring up that subject. Oh, yep.
Come to think of it, what happened to Jessica?
Uh-oh. Oh, right. I had a brain
Got
fart.
him. Classic.
Kanon-san is... Oh, wait, I forgot his voice. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey!
My brain just turned off. Okay. Kanon-san is looking after her. They're probably in Milady's room. That isn't good. The culprit is definitely still on the island. In this situation, I don't believe it's a very good idea to isolate ourselves in small numbers.
We got you, Jamie. What do you mean by that? You don't mean to say that the culprit plans to kill all of us?
Let us remain calm. That is not yet certain.
She turned into a Yoshi.
But unfortunately, we can't deny the possibility exists. This letter was in the chapel. According to this, the culprit is the witch. And if we don't solve the riddle of Grandfather's epitaph and find the gold, they'll massacre the whole family. Or something like that.
Is that true? Did you allow me to read it as well?
Why is it my characters?
Well, yeah, it's all your characters make just weird ass onomatopoeias all the time. As they read the witch's letter, Goda, Kumasawa, and Nanjo's faces grew even paler than they had been. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking.
If you don't want to die, try finding grandfather's hidden gold. Is that it? Screwing around with us. I'll bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us solve it.
However, I wonder what the truth is. Madam always stated that the legend of the gold was nothing more than an illusion created by the master. It's doubtful whether it actually existed.
True. Supposedly, they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but only half believed it. The relatives started believing in the legend of the gold only after Kinzo's health worsened and the inheritance problem came up. Until then, hardly anyone believed in it, I understand.
Oh, so maybe that's why. Do you remember? On the table in the chapel, there were 3 gold ingots. That alone would be worth quite a lot. Doesn't that prove the legend of the gold was real?
Excuse me, please wait. Just now, did you say there were 3 gold bars?
Yeah, there were definitely 3 of them piled up. So what?
I happened to hear Kraus-sama say something once. Yes, I just happened to hear it, you see. It's not like I was trying to listen in on secret discussions, no indeed.
Don't worry about that now. So then what? Is there something wrong with there being 3 of those gold bars?
Yes, according to Kraus-sama, there was only 1 bar ever found to support the legend of the gold.
That is correct. I believe Kinjo-san showed the president of Maruso, or a mountain of gold, and let him take 1 bar back with him, or so the story goes.
That 1 bar came to be in Kraus-sama's possession, and he said that no other gold supporting the master's legend of the gold existed.
You're talking about Uncle Kraus here? So what does that mean? No, wait, 3? Wait, where did they come from? That's too many, right?
Perhaps there is another explanation. And maybe the other relatives also found 1 each, and they each brought 1 of them here.
No, I cannot believe that. When all of the relatives came to the mansion, I was entrusted with their luggage. I didn't feel a suspicious weight back then. I think those would weigh about 10 kilograms. If that much weight was in their bags, even I would notice. But it didn't seem that way.
Same here. At the most, there were some changes of clothes, a first aid kit, Kirie-san's makeup. Stuff like that, I think. Aunt Rosa's luggage also looked pretty light.
In that case, those 3 piled up gold bars were being shown to them, or maybe to us? The legend of the gold is definitely real. It isn't an illusion. They're telling us to try and find the secret if we can. Could they be scheming to have us solve the epitaph which points to where the gold is hidden, and then try to snatch it away?
Yeah, that does make some sense, but there are a couple parts that don't fit. To start, our parents, who should have been the most likely to solve the epitaph, were killed first.
Thanks so much for subbing!
Cringy, thank you for the prime. Praise Beato, thank you. Praise Cringy.
Praise Cringe.
Based. That seems to create a contradiction right off the bat to me. And something else makes even less sense. If the legend of the gold is actually true, then how were they able to pile up all that gold? It's almost like the culprit's already found the gold, and is telling us to try and find it too.
Maybe the culprit found those 3 like Uncle Kraus did. Maybe that convinced them that the legend is true, and they're trying to make us search for the rest. I think that way fits the best.
The pieces on the chessboard aren't lined up at all. We don't have a clue what the culprit is planning, what they want, or what they want to make us do. Is there any point? No matter what we think, is there anything we can figure out right now?
down what she wanted to make us do? Couldn't anyone read it?
Battler is illiterate.
Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice.
Oh,
Oh wait, it's
Battler
Battler.
Is
narrator.
it? Okay.
I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, but apparently she'd been listening in too. Without turning away from the TV, she very simply told us what we were forgetting.
Beatrice hasn't said once that she wants the gold. All she's asking is whether you're all capable of showing the epitaph's riddle or not, or solving the epitaph's riddle or not. Though I'll bet she's pretty sure you could never do it.
So, are you saying you can solve it, Maria?
I don't care. After all, she'll take me to the Golden Land, so I won't get in Beatrice's way. Ouch.
In any case, it looks like we'll have to ask Maria if we want to learn anything more. Maria, tell us, who is this Beatrice? What is she planning?
Oh my god, how many times have we asked this question?
You know, Beatrice is a witch. She could do anything with her strange powers.
Dude, he's not a believer.
The power of magic can do anything. It can even create gold or bread. And of course, it can create sweets too, right? You saw, didn't you?
Oh.
At that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being slammed shut.
Hello, MC Cat. Welcome.
When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon.
Oh.
Then, she rapidly approached Maria, her heel squeaking, and hit her on the cheek.
Man, not this shit again, bro.
Stop talking about that. Battler and the rest will take it badly. Oh my god.
Without
front of
waiting for a
everyone.
response, she hit Maria's cheek once more. Everyone could only stand there, stunned.
I don't know what ooh means. What about yes? Oh.
Man.
She mercilessly hit Maria's cheek again. Maybe Maria didn't feel like resisting after being hit twice. She weakly said yes.
Rosa-san, there's no reason to be so harsh. This is my daughter's education. Do not interrupt.
Man.
Jesus.
Okay, this is narrator now.
Okay. The atmosphere around Rosa, with Genji and Shannon standing at attention behind her, was somehow cold, yet dignified, completely different from how she had seemed before she left.
Uh-oh.
She was holding something that looked like a gun. Oh no!
She's the gun holder now, baby.
I
Oh,
couldn't
wow.
imagine that she'd be holding a toy in this situation.
Oh. Battler? Battler?
Whatever. He already read it.
Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever.
my bad.
I do what I want.
Rosa,
chill.
what is this?
This is father.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit!
Because of the current
She's gonna
situation,
blow someone's head
I
off with
borrowed it
that.
specially. Everyone should understand. The culprit is still nearby. We don't know what might happen.
Still hilarious that Kenzo had a goddamn 4570
Love
just
him for
hidden
that.
somewhere.
He was prepared for anything.
People use that shit for like big game hunting. that'll blow.
Dude, this is big game hunting when you think about it.
True. The only thing that I think can take out a witch or a demon is the Lord's caliber. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what.
Let me tell you something. I agree. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is, take two. Hit it. Got it. Give me breathe.
Cut.
Give me the beeps.
stop-
Give me the
we're
dump
stopping
beeps.
the recording. We're cutting. We're beeping out, and then we're rewinding. Okay,
Give me the dump
I'm,
beeps.
Hold on. I'm hovering, highlighting, deleting. Okay, go.
You gotta give me the beeps.
Oh, true.
Beep, beep, beep.
I agree. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is planning, it might be better to first think about our own
Wait,
safety.
wait,
This
stop,
is
stop,
ass.
cut. I'm gonna need you to do that
no.
again. A little bit softer.
Okay. Softer?
Yeah, softer. Yeah, just we're in a serious
Okay.
situation right now, you know?
Okay.
Guys,
just-
this bit is trash.
All right.
Let me
All right. Cut the bit.
Your face is trash.
Damn.
I'll kill you.
All right. Father was fine,
Try
but
me.
he was considerably shaken by these sudden events. Fortunately, he said he won't leave his room, so he should be safe. For now, we should all try to stay together as much as possible.
I agree. We don't even know where the culprit's hiding. And after all, there's no proof that there's only one of them. Even though I'd said it myself, I shivered. That's right. Could a single person kill 6 people and set up such a horrible scene all alone? Isn't it natural to assume that this crime was carried out by multiple culprits?
I agree with Rosa-san. It probably is good for us to stay together.
Yes, I think it's good too. Yes.
Maybe it's about time we called for Milady and Canon-san.
Guys, this is gonna get awkward real quick.
Oh, Skedios.
That's right. Let's have them come down. I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on.
No, definitely.
George Aniki tried to grab the extension phone, but Goda-san shook his head. That's right, the phones are down right now, aren't they? I'll go with a couple people. If George Aniki and Goda-san come too, that should be enough.
No, let's all go together. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle, oh god. If we're in balance while gathered together like this, then maintaining the situation will be safest.
A wolves and sheep puzzle?
I've got it. I'll show you.
Maria, turn off the television. Genji-san, please tell me where Jessica-chan's room is. Let's all go together.
Yes, I will guide you.
Come on, everyone. We'll move together. Follow my instructions.
We stood up. Maria alone looked like she had some regrets about the TV, but she decided to go along with everyone for now and got up.
Shannon, thank goodness. I was a bit worried when you took so long to get back.
I'm so worried. I'm so sorry to have worried you. The master ordered me to transcribe something for him.
Ah, we don't get to see that? Dang it. Transcribe.
Shannon,
I am sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm sure there was no sort of magic laser sword fight.
No.
No.
Nobody got stabbed or
chilling.
anything.
We
There
headed
were
for Jessica's room, with the armed Aunt Rosa and Genji-san in the lead.
You said what, Shane?
I was gonna say, I'm sure there weren't women named after demons who are actually ice picks.
No.
Never.
Jessica and Canon-kun were a boy and a girl of about the same age. It'd sure be a shame if we barged in on them at a bad time. Or at least that's what we'd be joking about normally. However, Aunt Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding a sense of tension. So it definitely wasn't the sort of atmosphere for careless remarks like that.
Hey, don't fall behind! Everyone move together! We don't know
Starts
when or where
pointing
the
the gun
culprit
at
might
them.
leap out at us, right?
No, maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. Since Grandfather hadn't come down, Aunt Rosa was our leader. This wasn't a situation where we could just smile like she always did. And Aunt Rosa was a mother, too. She probably also thought that if she hadn't gotten a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter, who she beats.
Yeah, exactly. Her beloved daughter.
The culprit had killed 6 of our parents at once. The method they had used was unknown, but there was a good chance this opponent could take down a large number of people in a flash. Would that be with weapons, or with numbers? Or with the magic of a witch? In any case, I couldn't think of any reason why it'd be okay to let our guards down. The rest of us had better take much, much greater care, just like Aunt Rosa.
Everyone stop!
Oh my god. Aunt Rosa spoke in a sharp voice. Wondering what this was all about, we peered forwards, and immediately realized the reason.
Oh yeah, we're back.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
We're back.
What is this?
Everyone get back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Goda-san and Genji-san approached the door. Beyond this door was probably Jessica's room.
This seems to be the same paint that was scribbled on the door to the chapel.
it appears so. It seems not much time has passed since it was drawn.
What the heck? Is that another magic circle?
It's the first magic circle of the moon. It has the power to open unopening doors.
Drawn on the door to Jessica's room was the same kind of creepy scribble that had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange pattern must have had some occult meaning, but it didn't matter what the meaning was. We were worried about whether those two were okay.
It doesn't matter. Are Jessica-chan and Kanan-kun safe?
First George yelling sprite, let's go. This does not bode well. We should quickly bring those two downstairs.
Milady, are you there? Please answer.
Goda-san knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He gripped the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him.
Rosa-sama, it seems to be locked.
There's no helping it. Please open it up.
Genji nodded, and Goda quickly unlocked the door with the master key. In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared, one after another. A magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel. Behind that lay 6 corpses. So, if there's a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it must be.
Jessica-sama!
What happened? Is she
Oh,
there?
not this music again!
No, freaking dead.
Ah!
Here we go, literally dead in there. Jessica! What happened? It was truly heartless. The expression on Goda-san's face and his cry as he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate that Jessica had met even before we saw her. Everyone rushed into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone that their worst fears were spot on.
Oh.
Jessica!
Oh. How horrible. Dr. Nanjo! Oh,
Inside the room, which seemed elegant for the bedroom of one so young, Jessica lay crumpled on the ground. There was a large pool of blood on the floor, and there was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? There was a design on the handle that just had to symbolize something demonic. It had to be a weapon with some kind of occult meaning.
This is horrible. She has passed away.
Yeah, huge
This
people sad.
probably reached her lungs. Not much time has passed since she died.
Jessica! Damn it! Damn it!
Battle her, Summer.
I was naive! I knew it! Since the culprit couldn't escape the island, they were definitely close by! So why didn't I get cautious sooner? I was naive! I just assumed that a culprit would commit their crime and then just sneak away and hide!
We were stunned then. We thought Jessica-chan giving in to rage and running off was just something that couldn't be helped. We were naive. We should have stopped her.
Koda-san, why did you leave these two alone? If only you had been with them. Something like this.
Dude, this bitch always pointing the finger.
Yeah, she really is.
Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you!
So, I said it was dangerous, so we should return. Milady said that she wanted to be alone. Canon-san told me to leave to him, and... Speaking of which, where is Canon-san?
Oh, let's go, George Angry. George Angry, let's go.
That's right. What in the world happened to Canon-kun?
Canon-kun, where?
No, she never got to fuck the furniture. No.
Canon-san should have been with Milady. Where in the world did he go?
You don't think they got him?
Quiet. Someone might be hiding in this room. Search under the bed and in the closet.
You're the one with a gun.
Yeah.
True.
There was a chance that Canon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. At Rosa-san's order, everyone searched throughout the room together. But there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere.
He turned into a chair.
I swear to God, if he's a piece of furniture, I'm gonna shit.
Right?
Like
He's nowhere! Could the culprit have taken him out of the room? Then we'll have to search for him quickly and save him! If we're slow, something awful might happen! Come on, Rosa, let's search all over the mansion! Let's search for the culprit! Let's save Canon-kun!
Quiet! Oh.
When Aunt Rosa yelled at us, we fell instantly silent. She was probably contemplating something. However, what in the world could that be? Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts.
yes, 2 pictures.
Then, she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up.
If anyone knows, tell me. Which key is this?
Aunt Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it. Judging from its cute appearance, I didn't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing for sure.
It is probably the key to this room, to Milady's room.
After hearing that, Aunt Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room.
I wonder why it was set in a place like this. Wouldn't you normally keep such an important key in your pocket?
Milady wasn't in the habit of locking her room. It seemed she would only do it when she went to school, because she didn't want someone like Cross-Summer to look inside her room.
I see. She wasn't at school, so it's natural that Jessica-chan would set the key down here. How many keys can open this door?
Just the one Milady had.
Can it be opened with your master keys?
They can open it.
How many master keys are there? Are all of the servants holding them? Are there extras?
Yes, we all have one. As for extras, I wonder.
There used to be several, but Madam scolded us harshly, saying that was careless, so they should have been dealt with.
That is correct. There's only one held by each servant. There are no more.
Oh, game mode.
Wait a sec. I think we talked about extra master keys in the last game, right?
Indeed. Well, regarding that, I have noticed that having several master keys whose locations are unknown is quite disadvantageous for me.
That's probably right. Since you want to make me believe in magic using closed rooms, it'd really hurt you if there were more master keys than we thought. After all, every time a trick involving locks shows up, I plan to resist by arguing that the culprit had a master key that someone lost in the past, or a duplicate.
Yes, that's correct. So, I've decided to make a move to defeat that. I'll update our setting. The only master keys are the one held by the servants. 1 key each.
Messing with me. More importantly, what kind of move is this? What's Aunt Rosa talking about?
Who knows? You should try listening in.
Thank you. I have the situation sorted out. And I've been able to pinpoint the culprit who assaulted Jessica-chan, or at least one of their accomplices.
I knew she'd act like this. Let's see if my prediction was right. She's gonna say it's Battler, isn't she? What did you say? Who is it?
Rosa, you told me Canon-kun, do you?
Huh? What? Why Canon-kun?
This room was locked, and the only keys that can unlock it are the master keys, held by each servant and the key Jessica had. But Jessica-chan's key was closed up in here.
So this is a much more reasonable conclusion, actually.
Which means it's only possible that one of the master keys locked this room up.
It is as you say.
In that case, someone killed Jessica, then locked the door. That person had a master key. And there are only 5 people with master keys.
Oh my! It wasn't me, not me! No, I could never do such a thing!
Kumasawa-san got up late. After we returned from the chapel to the parlor, we did meet you there. But it's impossible to prove where you were and what you were doing until that time. You watched us from the shadows, chased after Jessica-chan and Canon-kun when they were isolated, and stealthily attacked them.
Are you saying I visited Milady's room and did something so horrible? I did no such thing! Yes, no such thing!
What about you, Goda-san? You said you left Jessica-chan in Canon-kun's care and returned. But I wonder if that's true. Maybe you actually killed the 2 of them, hid Canon-kun's corpse, and then came back with an innocent look on your face.
She's gonna be a schizo! She's gonna start suspecting everybody!
No.
She's gonna be like, I'm going to shoot all of the servants!
After the sword happened, I go to swear that I did not do anything like that.
I did not do that
shit myself.
It wasn't us. We were following the master's orders and...
Yes, you and Geji-san alone are clean. That's
yeah.
backed up by what I heard from Father. The two of you were in Father's room the whole time, transcribing and witnessing for him. Father and I can guarantee that.
Thank you very much.
In that case, the argument becomes who is more suspicious, Goda-san or Kumasawa-san. I thought that myself, right after entering this room. But still, I found it strange. Look at the state of Jessica-chan's body. Doesn't everyone think it's strange? Strange, you say? Jessica-chan was struck in the back. Come on, they say it all the time, right? That in crimes where the victim is struck in the back, there's a high likelihood that the culprit was someone whose face was known to the victim.
Man, this
She
sucks.
definitely wouldn't invite a person she didn't trust into a room and defenselessly expose her back.
Rosa-sama, you don't mean to say that it was Kanan-kun, do you?
I do. We're all fully aware of the state Jessica-chan was in right before she was killed. After seeing her parents' tragic bodies, Jessica-chan was very panicked. It's easy to imagine that after she regained her composure, she'd be in a horrible slump. It would be very understandable if Jessica's frame of mind led her to shut herself up alone in her room. And those particulars match with Goda-san's story. Jessica-chan said to leave her alone. Then, Kanan-kun, who is of a similar age, and who may have some adolescent relationship with her, said to leave this matter in his hands.
Man.
That feeling is also very understandable.
Rip little goat. I'll miss you, furniture.
True. So, for that reason, I think Jessica-chan welcomed Kanan-kun into her room.
You was my favorite furniture.
But what if it had been Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Would she have let them into her room?
I believe that I've gained Milady's trust, but even so.
Oh, then I guess you're still
my
a suspect
God.
after all, Goda-san.
Dude, I knew she'd do this.
I assume Jessica-chan probably didn't like you very much, so I didn't think she would have let you into her room. I was convinced that you couldn't possibly be the culprit, but maybe I was mistaken.
No, I'm sad to say that I.
Sorry,
say that I've
sorry.
not been accepted by Milady. What about you, Kumasawa-san?
We are far too separated by age to understand the feelings of a young person like Milady very
I really
well.
don't like when she opens her eyes.
And for the same reason, perhaps Milady never opened up her heart to us.
Close your
Right,
eyes.
Goda-san?
Yeah, that's right. It would have been quite difficult for her to open her heart to any of us. And it would have been inconceivable for Milady to let us into a room when she was grieving.
Goda-san and Kumasawa-bachan each rubbed their hands together, affirming each other with their forced smiles on their faces. It was a truly unpleasant rondo.
So, it was a person who might be allowed to enter Jessica-chan's room while she was grieving. A person who might have been given access to her defenseless back, and who had a master key. That only points to one suspect. It was impossible for anyone except Kanan-kun.
Please wait. Kanan-kun definitely wouldn't do something like...
Oh? Then is there someone else? Is Goda-san or
Stop.
Kumasawa-san suspicious after all?
She keeps ejecting shells
Yeah,
onto the
dude, she
floor.
wants blood.
Who do you think is more suspicious, Shannon-chan? Come on.
Points the gun at her.
I could never... It
I'm
wasn't
gonna kill
me,
your wife,
Shannon-chan.
George.
Yes, it was not me.
Of course it wasn't me either. The ones who had close relationships with Milady, what Cannon said. And after him, you, right?
Yeah, isn't that right? Jessica-chan might also let Shannon-chan into her room. You were supposedly with Father. But in reality, could you be the culprit?
You just said that there was no... Okay, I
Yeah,
don't trust Rosa
yeah.
at all. She's not even
That's what I'm
keeping it
saying,
together
bro.
at
It's
all.
going
Be
out.
throwing accusations. Like, the
Yeah,
thing
no,
about canon is like pretty, you know, justifiable considering that they're not knowers. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah,
why the fuck is she pointing the gun at everybody else?
Well, initially, I thought she was just doing it to like get everyone to establish their alibi, and that made sense to me. But now she's just
no,
using.
she's hella fucking. She's waving that shit around, bro, as a threat.
Yeah, someone take that shit from her, please. Shannon couldn't have been the culprit. Didn't she just say she was doing some important work with grandfather?
Yes, I know. Neither Shannon-chan nor Genji-san is the culprit. Father confirmed that they were together the whole time. Well then, what do you think, everyone?
After being told that, no one could respond. Even if someone did manage to argue back, they'd then have to offer the name of a different suspect. And no matter who that suspect was, it would have to be someone right here.
Hi, Adam!
No one could do something like that. Aunt Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy.
Fingering.
She seemed so different from the kind Aunt Rosa I knew. No, it's probably because I'm not fully aware of the danger we're in. Maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude would seem natural if I could truly sense the peril surrounding us.
Okay, Beatrice did something to her specifically then. Okay.
It looks like no one has an opinion. Then I'll give you mine. Of course, I can't deny the possibility that Canon-kun's a victim without a corpse. But until we find that corpse, I certainly can't rule Canon-kun out as a suspect. There's a chance he'll suddenly appear again, claiming to have been attacked by the culprit and confined somewhere. But take care. Most likely, no, there's no doubt about it. Canon-kun killed Jessica-chan.
No way!
I can't believe it! Canon did that to Milady? That's too much!
I feel the same as Shannon. I'm opposed to labeling Canon-kun as the culprit. He might have penetrated her in a different way, but that's something that's between those two.
Then is the culprit Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Tell me who's more suspicious. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.
3.
It was nice!
Oh yeah,
Fire.
nailed it.
If it wasn't Canon-kun, then who could have locked this door? How about it, Shannon-chan? George-kun? Huh? Ha ha ha!
I
Why is she getting all fucking uppity? Fuck you, bitch! I hate you!
May have fucked these bitches.
Aunt Rosa closed in on Shannon and George Aniki, laughing unpleasantly. Of course, they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Canon-kun. But if they did, they'd have to suspect the other servants. The simplest culprit was the mystery guest, Beatrice. But she was nothing more than a guest and didn't have a master key. So if Beatrice is the culprit, despite lacking a master key, then do we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch who locked the door with the power of magic? That's a dirty argument. Dirty, so dirty!
What are you worried about? Make it my fault. You can just make it the fault of the 19th person, the mystery guest, right? If you do, you won't have to watch this ugly battle of humans blaming each other, right?
So then what? The culprit is the 19th person, the guest Beatrice. She's a witch, so she could lock the door without a key using magic. Are you telling me to accept that? Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
In the last game, I learned all your weak points. So, what will you do? What will you do? You said you definitely wouldn't accept me, right? Then, you can use Canon as the perfect sacrifice he is. Canon killed Jessica. If you support Rose's theory, everything is settled here, right? Canon is already dead. There should be no need to show concern for the dead. And you won't have to suspect anyone in this room.
Damn it! I won't accept you! But Canon-kun being the culprit is impossible!
I don't want to suspect anyone. However, at times, there's no smoke without fire turns out to be true. Anyway, you can never be too cautious.
Dr. Nanjo, what do you mean by that?
Please do not misunderstand. I do not wish to label Canon-san as the culprit. However, until we understand the situation, there is a possibility that he's the culprit, and I believe thinking that way is safer.
Yes, that's right. You cannot be too cautious.
The general consensus certainly didn't seem to find fault with Nanjo for what he said. True, no one actually thought Canon was the culprit, but unless they suspected him, they'd have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected.
That's correct. We cannot be too vigilant. I take it no one objects to that, right? Understand? There's a very high likelihood that these murders are connected to Father's Legend of the Gold.
That means the crime must have been plotted by someone who wants to keep a vast amount of gold, worth several 10 billion yen, all for themselves. With that kind of money, you could play around for the rest of your life in any country. And with a motivation like that, they might even intend to kill all of us. Because she didn't have a master key, the 19th person, the guest Beatrice, is removed from suspicion for the murder of Jessica-chan alone. But we cannot conclude that she's unrelated to the crime. After all, it's a vast amount of gold we're talking about. We can't deny the possibility that there are multiple culprits. Right now, one of the people here among us might have been bought by the culprit.
As Aunt Rosa yelled, she looked all around, her gun still raised. Don't believe anyone. Suspect the person next to you. That's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not present.
There are only two ways you can be sure someone isn't a suspect. If it's yourself, or if they're already no more than a corpse. The same goes for Ken-kun. Until we catch sight of his corpse, he is the most likely suspect in Jessica-chan's murder. So take care. Even if he's still alive, even if he smooths things over with some explanation, you definitely mustn't trust him. Got it?
No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those eyes who met Aunt Rosa's had to nod their heads.
Though, huh?
What?
Oh, you said those eyes who met Aunt Rosa's.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a proper sentence.
Yeah, I had to be like, what? Oh.
Humans are beings who live by molding themselves to fit society. In other words, from the time they're born, trust in each other is genetically imprinted on them. It's unpleasant to go against that. They never want to suspect someone. But if they're forced to suspect someone, they find it safest to choose someone who isn't present at the moment. For the purpose of safety and nothing more, they half-heartedly chose Cannon to be the sacrifice.
Damn.
That's ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe that Cannon-kun is the culprit! I'd heard it from George Aniki just now, but not only were those two close in age, they also had that kind of adolescent relationship Aunt Rosa had mentioned. It may be a little late now, but yes, they really did have that kind of air about them. After seeing her parents' tragic corpses, Jessica, bearing deep wounds in her heart, would only have trusted Cannon-kun. It was very easy to imagine. And that's why I don't like it! Cannon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Cannon-kun in. So Cannon-kun was the only one who could have killed Jessica? I just can't accept that kind of argument!
Understand? Even if Cannon-kun appears, don't let your guards down. As long as we cannot prove Cannon-kun's innocence, we will assume that Cannon-kun is the culprit who killed Jessica-chan.
That was Aunt Rosa's claim. By using the vague word assume, she managed to convince everyone in the end. Everyone nodded weakly, and with the excuse that they were just assuming it for the time being. They concluded that Cannon-kun was the culprit who had killed Jessica.
Damn.
I wonder what the dead Jessica and Cannon would think if they could hear this exchange. Damn.
Oh.
Shut up, go. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what is going on? Jessica was crying. I mean, what do we think is happening right now? Can he see this? What's happening? Is this battle or is this narrated?
Is this Battler's imagination or is this?
I think this is him, right? Because I think he's imagining what it would have been like. Because he's talking about how he doesn't believe what they're saying. So this is like his imagination, I guess. Jessica was crying.
Haha, fuck
She
you,
was
bot.
crying into the chest of the person who would put his life on the line to fight for her, Cannon. It was frustrating. So frustrating that it felt like her chest would explode. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled.
How can those guys treat Cannon-kun like the culprit?
Because there's no corpse.
How can they treat you like the culprit just because there's no corpse? You risked your life to fight for me, right? Then winterize the corpse for fun. For them to call you the culprit after that, it's horrible. It's too horrible.
It's okay. I wasn't able to protect you in the end, but I was able to be of use to you in our final minutes.
Why doesn't everyone understand that? Stop it, Aunt Rosa! Don't call Canon-kun the culprit with that messed up logic!
I didn't think they would show us this. I'm sad.
She isn't saying I'm the culprit. She's just saying I'm
Shut up,
suspicious.
Yeah, JR. Fuck out of here. This is important.
Fuck out of here, JR.
No, she's saying to be careful.
She is saying it! These people are saying you're the culprit so they can stop thinking! They aren't thinking about who the culprit who killed, oh my god, I can't read! They aren't thinking about who the culprit who killed me is anymore! They aren't thinking of the possibility that you aren't the culprit! And after this, every time something happens, they'll use the excuse that Canon-kun did it, since we don't know where he is! I can't stand that!
Dude, you know that bit in Friends where Ross is like, if you say a word enough times, it just sounds fake.
Culprit,
And he goes,
culprit,
bowl,
Yeah.
bowl. That's how I feel about the word culprit because of this game.
Yeah, culprit.
It's okay. At least you know the truth.
If only I know the truth, that's pointless. I know it after dying. Truth belongs to living humans. If the truth doesn't remain, the dead won't be rewarded. They won't know what Canon could risk his life for. Okay.
Truly a splendid sight. You hardly ever find a sweeter. Oh my god. You hardly ever find a sweeter honey than the laments of the dead. Lament. No matter how much you lament, the voices of the dead never reach the living.
Damn it! Doesn't matter who! Hear my voice! Canon-kun isn't the culprit! Canon-kun's cards were just erased! Why don't you understand that?
Milady,
I can't stand this! It's too sad! I hate it! This way, it's like Canon-kun died for nothing, right? The honor of the dead means nothing unless it's acknowledged by the living! It doesn't matter who! Notice it! Notice it, please! Canon-kun isn't the culprit! Ah, don't go! Don't go, everyone! Please don't let it end like this!
I know Battle are gonna
Don't
come through,
go!
bro.
Don't go!
He has to come through. He's a noticer, bro.
Yeah. He is the noticer.
Rosa announced this room would be sealed until the police came. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they something. So they happily accepted that. For now, they accepted that Canon was the culprit. Without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead, they accepted it.
milady, you've done enough. Thank you.
Don't go! Don't go, everyone! I'm begging you, come back! Don't leave us behind like this! Don't keep treating Canon-kun as the culprit!
It won't reach! The laments of the dead never reach! You make me laugh. Yes, that face of yours makes me laugh! Did you think your voice would reach them? It won't reach, will it, Jessica?
It's all useless.
Oh, here we go.
Huh?
Oh, let's go!
Battle-kun, did you say something?
Yeah, it's useless. It's all useless. Just as everyone's about to leave the room. Oh, it's him! It's him! Go, narrator, go. It's your time.
Just as everyone was about to leave the room, Battler stood alone with his back to them, still looking down at Jessica's corpse.
What do you mean it's all useless? Do you have some sort of objection?
I agree that we've got to stay on our guards. But sorry, I'm not buying all that about Canon-kun being the culprit.
Oh, so you're speaking up at a time like this? If Canon wasn't the culprit, and it wasn't my doing, how do you explain this closed room that Jessica's room has become?
To be honest, I don't even have a clue on that point. Seriously, why'd I have to go and say it's all useless? Guess I'd better take responsibility for my own words. I'm empty-handed with 0 weapons to argue with, but I'm not gonna sit around on the sidelines anymore, Beatrice!
Battler-sama.
Is there some proof that Canon-kun isn't the culprit?
The expression that rose... Wait, okay, hold on. We should talk about this again. I think it's narrator the whole time, right? Is it? I think it's narrator the whole time.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wait, no, he said me. He said me.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely one of anticipation. They didn't want to believe that Canon was the culprit. They really believed in Canon. So they were expectant because they wanted me to strengthen their belief in him even more.
Then, Battler-kun, which of the other servants do you suspect? Goda-san? Or is it Kumasawa-san?
Quit it on, Rosa. I know the person called Kumasawa Ba-chan well. She'll sometimes slack off while on the job, but she's always makes things fun for people. Even if her eyes were dazzled by money, she isn't the kind of person who'd kill for it.
Battler-sama.
And I just met Goda-san yesterday. Honestly, I still don't really understand him. But if there is something I do understand... I've never seen anyone who cooks as happily as he does. He's the same. The same as Kumasawa Ba-chan. Goda-san likes to make people happy. As if a person like that could kill those who praised his own food as delicious, even if money was piled up in front of him.
Then, who do you think killed Jessica-chan, Battler-kun? Who do you think shut Jessica up in a room that could only be locked by a master key?
Wait. Before I argue about that, there's something I want to make clear. I don't want to talk about if so and so is not the culprit. Then so and so must be the culprit. I just want to talk about how it's completely impossible for Canon-kun to be guilty.
You say you can prove that Canon isn't the culprit? How?
It's actually simple. It's something I almost overlooked, Beato. Repeat it! If you can say it, try saying it. Canon-kun had a master key on him.
Oh. Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him? How could you possibly know that?
A short while ago, I heard from Goda-san about what happened. About how Jessica went to raid the VIP room, right before she and Canon-kun went off on their own. Goda-san, you did a good job remembering it. You protected Canon's honor.
I did? I heard him say the same thing, but I don't really understand. Could you explain it, Battler-kun?
That's right. When Jessica unlocked the VIP room, she borrowed the key from Canon-kun, but didn't give it back. So Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him.
Is that really so? True, Gota has no recollection of the master key being returned to Canon. However, she might have returned it when Gota wasn't looking. How does that prove that it definitely didn't happen? If you could just search the pocket of Canon's corpse, you'd be able to say for sure, but you can't. It's impossible to prove.
It's all useless. It's actually pretty simple, isn't it?
No way. So you're saying that's why Canon-kun didn't have a key on him?
Yeah, and to prove it, all you have to do is search Jessica. Canon-kun's master key should be in Jessica's pocket. Dr. Nanjo, will you check for us?
Indeed.
Nanjo dashed up to Jessica and searched in her jacket pocket. Everyone was expectant. Please, be there!
Here it is. Is this it?
Yes, that is a master key, without a doubt.
At Genji's statement, there was a small ooh of joyful voices. That's Canon-kun's master key. I'll say it again. Canon-kun doesn't have a master key on him, so there's no way he could have locked the door.
It certainly does appear that way. But Canon-kun was the last person to meet Jessica-chan. The fact that he's suspicious hasn't changed.
Let's give that stuff a rest.
Huh?
Fundamentally, humans are supposed to be creatures that trust each other. But because we live in a tough world, we learn how to be deeply suspicious. So we suspect everything. We're sad creatures. I won't deny that's our nature. But the one thing I won't let you do is reach conclusions without proof! If someone looks suspicious, that doesn't make them guilty, it makes them innocent! Of course the world is filled with wolves. I'm not saying you should carelessly believe everyone. But if you're gonna conclude that someone's guilty, you'd better have some perfect evidence! Unless you do, don't go around accusing them based on speculation!
That's... I was the one who brought up there's no smoke without fire. That was careless of me. I apologize.
Hallelujah, Summer.
Wonderful reason like that, Luca. Thank you too, Goda-san. Because of what you remembered, Canon-kun's been cleared from suspicion. Oh, I...
It was the crisp sound of the witch applauding.
Well done, well done. Not a bad job.
Crap. Did I fall for that bait piece just like you wanted?
You magnificently proved that Cannon at least couldn't lock the door to this room. The servants should all have had master keys. With that as proof, Cannon was treated as the culprit, but you've at least managed to clear away that suspicion.
In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? So that's the problem we have now. I got drawn into exactly the flow you wanted.
I got you, didn't I? Furthermore, you said something outrageous about not doubting any of the other servants. Well then, I can't wait to see how you try to smooth that over.
Shut up. Let's start right away. You'll probably just deny it anyway. But first, let's check the definition of this room as a closed room.
Very well. First, there are absolutely no types of hidden doors. This door's the only way in or out. The only way to lock this door is with Jessica's single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. It is on the second floor, but it is probably possible to enter or leave through the window. However, the window is locked from the inside.
I can spin the chessboard around already. If I start by arguing about the door and the lock, I'll probably be stuck dancing on the palm of your hand.
Do as you like. Well then, what should I repeat?
Repeat it. Canon-kun was killed in this room.
Very well. Cannon was killed in this room. But I erased his corpse with magic, right?
Again, repeat it. Canon-kun's corpse is in this room.
I refuse. I can't repeat it. Because I erased the corpse with magic.
Yeah, figures you wouldn't say that. There's gotta be a secret hidden in there somewhere. Damn, where's the mystery point I've gotta find? Did they lock it without the master key? Or did they somehow kill those two while they were inside the room and it was locked? Or did they kill these two and then somehow escape? I hate to say it, but I'll have to cover up the moat first. Repeat it. The last time it was locked was due to a master key.
I also refuse that.
This refusing thing is really vague. I don't know if you refuse because it's impossible to repeat, or whether you can repeat it and you're refusing on purpose.
Back when discussing the lock to the chapel, you completely turned the tables on me. When I have an advantage, there's no need to go out of my way to use red when it might be risky. That's all it is.
I guess that makes sense. Originally, the point of the red was to counter my strange theories.
Naturally, I'll use it in a way that works to my advantage. Now that I know I've got to worry about you twisting it around, I won't use it pointlessly. Well then, what move will you use next? I imagine a move placing suspicion on Goda or Kumasawa will be easiest, yes?
Damn, feels like you're leading me by the nose, and it pisses me off. Stay quiet a bit, I'm thinking!
Of course, the store is the same as the chapel. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I'll say more. No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key.
What? Damn you for always using red when I don't ask for it. Time to step back to square one. For now, I've just gotta think. I'll lay out everything I know. First, there are 2 victims. Jessica and Cannon-kun. Cannon-kun's corpse isn't here, but Beatrice admitted in red that Cannon-kun was killed. So even without a corpse, he's included as a victim. There are a few questionable points, and depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed murder in this room, how did they lock it? If we assume the culprit's someone with a master key, it's extremely simple. But I'd like to avoid that if I can, because I'd have to suspect Goda-san or Kumasawa-san, or maybe even Shannon-chan and Genji-san. Here, I noticed something. I was contradicting myself. I was strangling my own neck. I want to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. So I have to explain everything with humans, not magic. But that also means suspecting some human. I don't want to suspect anyone. Of course, if there's some clear proof, I'll have to believe that the person in question is the culprit. But until that happens, I don't want to suspect people. Am I just naive? Am I just a kid who doesn't want to have my feelings betrayed when those feelings tell me that this person at least could never commit murder? I want to deny that a witch did it, and I also want to deny that a human did it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
In the first place, the only victory condition in our game was whether or not you could deny my existence. Even though that alone put you at a disadvantage, you've increased the number of victory conditions all by yourself, making your own victory harder.
It's just as she says. If I just argue that someone with a master key did it, this closed room can be broken easily. However, the number of keys that can open this door is limited, and since it's clearly known who has them, using that argument means I'd be suspecting someone I know well. In fact, have I just been averting my eyes from the truth? Even while attacking that closed room trick in the chapel, which was exhilarating to destroy, I proposed that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. If that theory's right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag. Maria's handbag was probably most unguarded while she slept. In that case, in addition to me, George Aniki and Jessica are also suspects. So George Aniki or Jessica is the culprit? Or maybe an accomplice? All of our parents have been killed, right? And yet, one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We all lamented, mourned, shed tears together in the chapel. And yet one among us was lying?
That theory of yours about taking the key out of the handbag and putting it back casts a pronounced suspicion on the cousins, did it not? And despite that, you acted like you didn't even notice, announcing a theory like that so happily.
Damn it. That doesn't guarantee that one of the family or the servants is the culprit. If you snuck up on us while hiding in a cardboard box, for example, there's a good chance he could have snuck into our room while we were fast asleep and stolen the key, right?
Battler played Metal Gear confirmed.
Yeah.
Perhaps that will do for that situation. By suspecting the guest, the 19th person, you won't have to suspect the others. In that case, how was Jessica's room locked? It's no trouble at all for me to open the lock with magic. But of course, I don't have a master key. If you deny my magic, you also have to deny that I'm a suspect, correct?
Easy. Cannon
in other
took the key
words-
back, and then she killed him, took the key, and then planted it on Jessica. Easy.
True.
That means suspecting one of the 18.
Oh yeah, thanks for the help. I've managed to sort things out a bit. My goal is to figure out how the 19th person, the human guest Beatrice, committed the crimes. If I do that, I won't have to suspect anyone.
If you can do that, foolish man. This wasn't a closed room from the beginning. After all, there are a total of 6 keys that can open it. And several people possess such keys. You can suspect any of them. Suspect as much as you like. But you went to all the trouble of denying all of them, making it a closed room yourself. Understand? This is a closed room born from your mental contradiction. You and no one else sealed that door.
So you're trying to say that I've got two options. Accept that a witch opened it with magic, or accept that someone I know is the culprit. Damn, are you trying to fork the rook?
I just wanted to show you that moves such as this can exist as well. So what will you do, Shinomiya Battler? I can't say his name. Isn't it actually simple? Don't you just have to make sacrifices of that overly self-confident cook and that hag who wouldn't be a loss if she died?
Damn it! If I suspect Goda-san and Kumasawa-san, everything will be fine? That's useless! I can't think of Goda-san as the culprit. I can't think of Kumasawa-san as the culprit. But I won't accept you, no matter what!
In that case, they'd have to enter the room without using magic or master key, kill Jessica and Cannon, and even erase Cannon's corpse without using magic. How could it be done? How could it be done so that you can deny me while still not suspecting anyone else?
Oh. I resign.
Huh? Battler-kun, what did you say?
I give up. I was able to prove that Cannon-kun couldn't have locked this door. But that doesn't mean I've managed to figure out who killed Jessica.
No, that's more than enough. For Cannon-kun's sake, thank you very much.
No need to thank me. After all, this means you're under suspicion too, Shannon-chan. And sorry, Aunt Rosa. It's not like I wanted to resist you. I don't want to die, and I want to find Dad and the rest's true enemy. Sorry for saying something that wasn't cooperative.
No, it's okay. I was also a little rash. Let's make up. As an aunt and nephew, we have to stay on good terms. Right?
Aunt Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out the other. I reached out, and for the time being, we shook hands.
Grab the gun!
Grab the gun and shoot her!
I'm gonna shoot her!
Aunt Rosa's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would sacrifice anyone. That's what her eyes told me. And me? I denied the witch, but I wasn't prepared to lose anything. I was probably the one who seemed to be fighting the most, and yet, the one who was most separated from reality.
Damn. Oh! Oh, shit.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my god, good morning.
Yeah, damn.
Actually, good
They all
afternoon.
went honk shoe, honk shoe, honk shoe.
Battle is so freaking cool, dude. I know.
I think it's 1 p.m. Actually, for
PM.
them.
Yeah, for the UMINEKO knowers in the chat, I hope I'm doing justice. This guy's my goat. He's actually so fucking cool.
I love Manuel.
Our lives. This is Battler.
Okay. With Jessica's death, it became certain that the culprit was hiding somewhere nearby, and that they'd come for our lives if they had a chance. According to Genji-san, when tomorrow morning comes, the boat should arrive. The boat had a radio. We'd probably be able to contact the police. The police! That's
police!
racist. Sorry, chat. Accidental racism
Womp
slip.
womp.
We're getting banned.
Have a good night, Cringy! Thanks for joining!
Yeah, bro. Thanks for checking everything out. I hope you come back next time. I'll probably be linking it in UMINEKO Prayers chat every week. So, hope I see you around. But if not, I'll see you in Manucord. The boat had a Oh, goodbye.
My bad. I thought we were done.
Yeah, try and put the others on as well. Alright. Back it up to the other line. There we go. The boat had a radio. We'd probably be able to contact the police directly with that. All of us gathered in the parlor and decided to wait quietly until tomorrow.
I love how you rip the...
I could hear George Haneke taking a dab in the background. He was really...
Well, it's just a regular.
Oh.
Hold on, Battler. I have to calm down. Let me just.
He starts coughing. He's like...
It's funny. It's all
No,
useless. Rips the Benjamin.
That one's nicotine. That one's nicotine.
I proposed that we should search throughout the mansion for clues about the culprit. But Aunt Rosa rejected that, saying that if we managed to corner the culprit, or maybe provoke him, it might lead to a third murder. that was probably the right thing to do. If a bunch of amateurs like us investigated, there's no way we'd find anything.
Isn't that the point of having a gun?
Yeah, right? It would be wisest to focus on protecting ourselves without doing anything unnecessary and leave it to the police starting tomorrow. We'd been tense at the beginning, but other than Aunt Rosa, most of us had spent all morning watching TV and getting bored, so our sense of danger had faded considerably. When we thought about it, yes, 6 adults certainly had been killed together in the first murder. But that made it seem like some backhanded method, like poison, had been used. And for the second murder, we figured those 2 became sacrifices because they'd been unfortunately isolated from the rest of us. From this, it was possible to imagine that the culprit wasn't a large number of adults, and that they wouldn't be capable of killing this large group gathered in the parlor all at once. Right now in this parlor, there's George, Aniki, and me, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Kenji-san, Goda-san, Shannon-san, Kumasawa-san, and then Dr. Nanjo, for a total of 9 people. Furthermore, Aunt Rosa was even armed with a gun. Surely, with this many people staying in the room, they wouldn't be able to touch us easily. You know it's over when they say surely.
Surely.
That feeling of security, along with the passage of time, allowed us to recover from the shock of that morning bit by bit. By the way, lunchtime had just ended for us. However, it had been a canned food lunch, a far cry from the dinner last night that Goda-san had skillfully made for us. Aunt Rosa also suspected that poison may have been used in the first murder. So, we probably couldn't deny the possibility that the culprit had snuck into the kitchen during all the confusion in the morning and mixed poison in with the ingredients here. Aunt Rosa gave orders to all of us saying that until the police came, we mustn't put anything into our mouths except safe things like canned food. As a cook, Goda-san must have felt very let down. Apparently eager to display his skills anyway, he said he at least wanted to grab some plates and arrange the canned food on them.
Wow, King.
At first, Aunt Rosa had been reluctant, examining each one of the plates that were brought, but she hadn't been able to find anything to complain about. And Goda's chef-picked canned food lunch combo was born. Goda-san said something about taste being savored not just with the tongue, but with the eyes as well. I see. It's the same canned food we ate for breakfast, but it feels like something completely different.
Battler, look! This is the wolves and sheep puzzle.
As I was sitting lazily on the sofa with no desire to watch TV, Maria came over, pulled a picture book out of her handbag, and held it out to me. What's that book? Wolves and Sheep Puzzle? Let me see. Wolves and Sheep Puzzle. It was a phrase that Aunt Rosa had said this morning when we'd gone to call on Jessica. At the time, I hadn't known what that meant. And right after that was that uproar when Jessica's corpse was found. So I'd forgotten about it completely. The book that Maria held out to me looked like a foreign picture book or something that had been translated. When I opened it, I realized that it was a book stuffed with riddles.
So, you have a few wolves and a few sheep, okay?
Yeah, the few wolves and few sheep.
Oh, the puzzle is how you take them to the other side using one boat.
I've heard of games with rules like that. So this is a version with wolves and sheep. It was a very simple puzzle, passed on from long ago. Let's try posing a question. On the right bank, there are 2 wolves and 2 sheep. There's a boat that as many as 2 animals can ride on, and using it, you have to move all 4 of them to the opposite left bank. That's the puzzle. There are 2 rules. The first is regarding the boat. Even a single wolf or a single sheep can paddle it, but it can only hold 2 animals. The second rule is regarding the wolves. When they are greater in number than the sheep in any location, they attack the sheep, and it's game over. For example, at the start of the game, let's say the 2 sheep get in the boat and go to the other side. The one sheep gets off, and the other goes back to the first bank. When it does, there are 2 wolves on the first bank, and a single sheep returns there. When that happens, the number of wolves is greater, so the sheep is attacked, and it's game over. On either bank or even the boat, there must never be more wolves than sheep. And you've got to shuttle them all across under these conditions. By the way, the right answer is to move both wolves to the opposite bank in the first turn. Then 1 wolf comes back. On the second turn, you move 2 sheep to the opposite bank. Then 1 wolf comes back. Then on the third turn, you put that last wolf that was on the right bank on the boat and cross to the opposite bank. And congratulations, transport successful. Part way, there may be the same number of wolves and sheep in the boat or on either side, but that isn't a problem. You only lose when the number of wolves is greater. This book uses wolves and sheep as an example, but lots of people probably know of this game using different characters. It looked like Maria wanted to test whether I too could solve the puzzle she knew how to solve. And she kept showing me different pages saying, solve this one, and this one's hard. So, what was happening when Aunt Rosa first mentioned this puzzle? That's right. When we decided to go and get Jessica, we talked about how many men should go. And Aunt Rosa mentioned the wolves and sheep puzzle, saying we should all go together. Wait a sec. That could only mean one thing. Aunt Rosa was saying that there was a wolf among us. So was she thinking that we'd be safe if the number of wolves and sheep was in balance, but that the wolves would bare their fangs if the situation changed? At the time we found our parents' corpses, Aunt Rosa already suspected that the servants might be wolves. She'd sniffed out the possibility that, while she didn't know whether it was all of them or some of them, there were wolves hiding among them. That's no surprise. That murder scene was very elaborate. It's easy to imagine that there were multiple culprits. And because she'd reached that conclusion when we went to Jessica's room, and learned that Jessica had been killed after being alone with a servant, Cannon, it isn't hard to imagine why Aunt Rosa suspected the servants so persistently.
You servants, Koda-san is going to the kitchen to clean the dishes. Just in case, would you please all go with him?
Okay, so yeah, in her mind, the servants are hella the wolves.
Yeah.
Is Shane muted?
Shane!
He is.
Come back!
I forgot I was muted.
T.
You kept giggling because
I'm sorry, it was just really funny.
hitting the roof.
Oh, wow.
I'm allowed to schmonk a little. My apologies, everyone. Let's go as a group. Get the fuck out of here, you old shit.
Shit.
Shannon, Kumasawa, we are going.
Yes, coming.
Well
Well then, George-san, excuse me for now.
Yes, take care. Aunt Rosa, could I go as well?
I'm sorry, but would you remain here, George-kun? There's something I want to talk to you about.
Is that so? Sorry, Shannon. Anyway, take care. Don't be alone.
Yes.
So sweet.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Dr. Nanjo. I wanted to consult you about something.
Yes, what could that be?
The servants put the dishes and empty cans on the servant cart and started to head out into the corridor. Behind them, Aunt Rosa was talking to Dr. Nanjo about something in a small voice.
It's the pen. You can't do that around Maria. Understood. I will go.
Yes, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's fucked up. She's okay. So in the metaphor, she's hella putting him on the boat with them.
Yeah,
and,
she
and
is.
seeing if they kill him.
Yeah, she is.
What the fuck, bro? Dr. Nanjo closed the book he had been reading, rose from the sofa, and followed after the servants. Aunt Rosa stuck her head out into the hallway, and after seeing that they were completely out of sight, she closed the door and spoke.
Listen up, everyone. With that, everyone here is an Ushiromiya.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's true.
So you're saying that you've chased out all the wolves, Aunt Rosa? With that one sentence, Aunt Rosa's gaze grew sharp. Is it about to turn up again? Okay. Apparently, she had picked up on the sarcasm. She laughed lightly.
Your mind sure works fast, Battler-kun. I like clever kids. It means there's less to explain.
What do you mean by that?
Battler smart?
No.
Can you solve this? Page 64 is hard.
She gonna hit her?
Maria, go watch TV for a bit. Mama wants to talk with Battler-kun and George-kun.
Aunt Rosa, I heard about the puzzler from Battler-kun. I don't think it's wrong to be on our guards, but I also think there's such a thing as being too suspicious.
Whether the real culprit is Beatrice or not, there is reason for us to suspect that the servants are in on it. There's a lot of s. In the first murder, where Nissan and the others were killed, they were treated very brutally, right? Did that look something like that? Did that look like something that could have been done alone?
Maybe the mystery guest, Beatrice Sama, worked all night and did it all.
And what about the master key and the door to Jessica's room? Isn't that proof that one of the servants was involved?
Only the master key could have locked the door to Jessica's room, so we can only suppose that one of the servants did it. No. Wait. Spin the chessboard around. That's strange, Aunt Rosa. After killing Jessica, why would the culprit go to all the trouble of locking the door? The fact that it was locked made it inevitable that the owners of the master keys would be suspected. There was no reason for them to go to all the trouble of locking the door.
That's right. It's just as Battler-kun says. There was no need for them to go to the trouble of making themselves look suspicious.
Yes, that's an interesting thought. Of course, I also thought that. If that's the case, then the person who locked it wanted to cast suspicion on the servants and locked it without a master key. But that's impossible, right?
That's right. If there existed some trick that could lock the door without a master key, that would make this a great disguise for casting doubt on the servants. If the culprit's goal was for us to isolate ourselves from the group so they could attack us one by one, this trick would also be effective at giving rise to paranoia. But there was no way to lock that door without using a master key.
How can you be sure there's no way to lock that door without a master key? Isn't that a devil's proof, like Rudolph Nissan was talking about earlier? Maybe it was locked by some method we can't think of. Even if we can't think of a way, we can't deny the possibility of some unknown trick being used.
That's true too, I guess. So is that it? No smoke without fire again?
I don't know the practical details of the trick, but I have a general idea. My apologies, but if we make this assumption that Cannon-kun was the culprit, it can be explained extremely easily. Even as to why there was no corpse.
Huh? But Cannon-kun didn't have a master key, right? Putting aside the other servants, at least Cannon-kun shouldn't have been able to lock the door.
I see. So that's why you told us to search in the closet and everywhere else right after we entered Jessica's room. Aunt Rosa, your mind works faster than I would have guessed from how you normally act.
The brain speed of a little sister is always the big sister's -1. Right now, there's no one I need to worry about offending, which is certainly a relief.
George Aniki realized she was referring to Aunt Ava, and seemed a little uncertain about how she would take that sarcasm.
I'm sorry, could you explain it so even I can understand? Cannon-kun's master key was in Jessica-chan's pocket, closed up inside a closed room. After the door was locked, it should have been impossible to put it in her pocket from outside the room, no matter what trick he used.
That's not it, Aniki. If it was done the way Aunt Rosa's thinking of, this trick could only be used by Cannon-kun. Plus, the door could be locked without using a key, while the master key was still in Jessica's pocket. And it would also result in his corpse disappearing.
How? How could he lock the door without a key?
It's simple. George-kun, when you return home, you lock the door, right? You twist the knob, click, and then you're done, right?
Huh? Could it be... No, but Cannon-kun was nowhere to be found. They're saying he locked it and jumped out the window?
Probably. It looks like you've got it, Aniki. That's what Aunt Rosa was searching the room for. She was searching for Cannon-kun, who had locked the door from the inside and stuck the key in Jessica's pocket, before hiding somewhere, waiting for us to walk right past him. Ah, okay, so she thinks he planted the evidence. It was the simplest kind of closed room trick. It meant him hiding inside the closed room after the murder was committed. Then, all he had to do was get out after those who discovered the body left, and the closed room murder would work perfectly.
When we searched that room, we didn't find anything. But for all we know, that room might have had hidden passages that only the servants know about. We don't know where such a thing might have been hidden, but if we assume there was such a passage,
we can conclude that it was impossible for everyone but him.
Well, about that line of reasoning, I thought of that too at the very beginning. It's the kind of reasoning I hate most, so I wanted to destroy it right at the start.
Cannon was killed in this room, right? You apparently suspected that Cannon was the culprit, so you made me repeat this to destroy the possibility right off the bat. Yes, I understand.
So this is what I thought next. I made a theory where there were actually 3 people in that room. Jessica and Cannon-kun were victims. And the culprit, the guest Beatrice, was also there with them.
You wanted to make it the human me who committed the crime without using magic. I see. A bizarre theory that suits you perfectly.
I guess that you killed these 2, then locked the door from the inside, and that you carried Cannon-kun's corpse away using some secret method that normal people wouldn't notice. In other words, you used a secret door to escape. But you told me it in red. You said no kind of hidden door existed in that room.
Indeed. There can exist no secret passages that you all are not aware of. Was it Knox who said it, or was it Van Dyne? It seems that in mystery novels, there must never be hidden passages. I simply followed that etiquette. So even without having to thoroughly search the room, a famous detective could conclude that no secret passages exist. Humans playing detective have it so easy.
Damn you, talking so big. Thanks. Thanks to the mighty witch being so diplomatic, I get to conclude that the room was no hidden doors without searching the whole thing.
Indeed. There are no hidden doors in this room. There's no way to get in or out other than the door and the windows.
Which means that the theory Aunt Rosa's so confident in is wrong. Also, annoyingly, it's impossible to disprove her theory. If you, the witch, say, there are no hidden doors in red, then it's settled. However, no matter how much a human like me tries to argue against her, Aunt Rosa probably won't accept it. Humans can't prove there's no hidden door. It's a devil's proof. Damn, sure is convenient being a witch.
No way. To call Cannon-kun the culprit because of a hidden door we don't even know exists. I can't accept that.
If you can't accept it, then find me a different theory that's more convincing. There is none. I've been thinking this whole time. There's no other option. George-kun, you and Shannon-chan are close, right? I imagine that's why you find it so hard to accept that all the servants are culprits. Even I don't want to believe that Shannon-chan is in league with the culprit. But whether they're all in it together or not, there's definitely a culprit, or maybe an accomplice in that group. That point alone is something you absolutely need to understand.
If you guess there were wolves besides Cannon-kun, does that mean the uproar you caused by accusing Cannon-kun in Jessica's room was to gauge the reactions of the other servants?
Yes, that's right. And as a result, I began to suspect them even more. There certainly is a wolf among the servants.
Doug, you pointed a fucking gun at their face. Do you think they're not gonna react strongly?
Certainly.
Like, what are you talking about?
And just like in the wolves and sheep puzzle, while they may be docile most of the time, they'll surely attack if they get the chance. Jessica-chan was a lone sheep on the boat. In Maria's version of the puzzle, they may not attack when there's an equal number of wolves and sheep, but our puzzle is different. Depending on the situation and the number of people, they'll attack even if there is a balance. Just like when Jessica-chan was killed.
Then there's something that makes... Okay, then there's something that makes me mad. If that's true, then when you made Shannon go to the kitchen, you put her in a dangerous situation, didn't you? We should go to the kitchen right now, too! No matter who may or may not be a wolf, if staying together means we remain in balance, I think we should keep it that way.
Shannon-chan went to see father along with Genji-san. At that time, she was supposedly isolated, but she wasn't killed. Was it because Genji-san wasn't a wolf either? Wrong. It's because they were both wolves.
Shannon isn't the type of person who would take part in a crime. I can't let a comment like that slide. Not even from you, Aunt Rosa. I demand that you take back what you just said.
I hate saying this in front of Aniki, but the way you're arguing feels just like something Ava might say. It's like you're automatically assuming that you're right, unless we can counter your argument. Looks like you can't fight against your own blood after all, Aunt Rosa.
Even I can't think of myself as very praiseworthy right now. But guess what? I'm a mother. I had become even a demon to protect Maria's safety. Or just regularly, just with Maria. I really wish I could shut myself away somewhere alone with her. But I also plan to act as a mother to you two. Right now, you're practically my children.
Fuck off.
Even if you aren't my own, I won't forsake you.
Nobody likes
no
you.
matter what.
Die.
Oh.
Well,
that's what
thanks for that.
I just wanted to warn you not to be... The police! The police! They're coming after her!
Oh shit, they're here.
They're here early!
I just wanted to warn you not to be careless as your mother. Stay where I can see you at all times. I will protect you.
And at the same time, you'll be observing us to make sure we aren't wolves. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Can you, Aunt Rosa, prove that you aren't a wolf yourself?
Yes, I can.
That's a quick answer. How?
This is my proof.
Aunt Rosa lifted her gun and pointed the barrel
What
at
the
me.
fuck?
But it was only for an instant. She immediately lowered the gun, laughing impishly. But to me, the time I spent staring down the barrel of that gun felt like an eternity.
How does that gun prove that you aren't the culprit, Aunt Rosa?
Think about it. What if I were the culprit? Would I really give up the once-in-a-lifetime chance I got when the servants left? I could just shoot you. Bang! Think of a fitting excuse later. Something like Beatrice appeared outside the window and started shooting at us. I just need to leave 2 empty cartridges on the ground and say I fired back at her twice.
Well, that's a crazy, violent way to argue it, but it does make sense.
There's something Kraus Nissan used to say all the time long ago. Might is right. Maybe that really is true. I'm sorry, you two. I've somewhat lost my composure after all the crimes since this morning. You know how I normally am, so I must seem desperate and a bit short-tempered right now. But please understand, I want to protect you from a malicious culprit. I will become a demon to do that. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry for saying something that's angered you. Viola-kun, George-kun, let's make up.
An unsatisfied expression rose to George Aniki's face. He probably couldn't forgive the damage done to Shannon's honor. What about me? Several bits of circumstantial evidence hinted at the servants' participation. I didn't want to believe that one of them was the culprit, or possibly colluding with the culprit. But in our current situation, that was a little more than wishful thinking. Whom should I believe? In the first place, who is the culprit? Are there accomplices? And if so, how many? It seems I've only been suspecting the people we know. I quickly forgot that 19th person, the guest Beatrice, who arrived yesterday and boldly claimed to be the Golden Witch. In fact, I still haven't seen her face. I heard she greatly resembled the witch in that portrait. But since I haven't seen her directly, no matter how hard I try, it doesn't really feel to me like a 19th person is on this island. So I've been subconsciously hallucinating that the culprit's one of the 18. Damn it. Come out, Beatrice. If you're the bad guy, then act like the bad guy and show yourself, laughing in a high-pitched voice and mocking us. Just like a bad guy in one of those dramas who, even when they're exposed as the culprit, aggressively says, "Where's your proof?"
Where's your proof?
Shut up. No more talking.
Alright, Beatrice. Alright, girlie. She's like, I'm the villain.
Yeah, she's hella troll.
Yeah, she hella trolled him. You guys want to take a break to get some Wawa?
Well, I'd like to be done, to be honest.
Oh.
Do you not remember what I said?
Ay, ay, ay.
How long has
Ay, ay, ay.
Pretty much 2 hours.
Ay, ay, ay.
'Cause I fucking haven't showered since yesterday, and I have to work again tonight.
He's blacked out, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow.
She disappeared, his body.
His body is gone. Oh, his body is gone.
Rockinjima Island is fucked.
Real. Alright, epic stream, y'all, I guess. Epic stream.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Epic stream. Thanks to everybody who joined.
Cannon killed his girlfriend. Find out next time on We Already Know He Didn't, but
next
Rockin'
time.
when Cry Gold Island.
When the cry sheds tears.
Real. Okay, bye guys. Well, goodbye forever.